Yet, the main character, the hero of the story, was defeated by a villain. He is the most dangerous villain, a psychopath with multiple personalities who always wears a smile. But if you show even the slightest opening, the enemy will receive the most terrible punishment. Just as the main character was about to curse out the game developer's entire family, he was transported straight into the game. He became the strongest villain in the game. Without further ado, let's start the story. Please like and subscribe to support our channel. The story begins with a scene of a man standing proudly while another kneels on the ground. In the standing man's hand is a sword dripping with fresh red blood. He asks the kneeling man, "So even you, the one others call the hero, have fallen into this situation?" This platinum-haired man is named Julian. As he wipes the blood from his sword, he speaks to the person kneeling below. "If only you had considered your safety within that magnificent mansion, such a tragedy would not have occurred." A fallen star, Handicap. The wounded man on the ground is Handicap. He looks at the boy with angry eyes. "Julian, how could you do this to me?" The boy looks down at him with narrow eyes full of contempt. "You see, when I supported you as a hero, you should have treated me better. Can you really kill me, your master, so cruelly?" Handicap could only gap in shock after hearing this. Julian says nothing, keeping silent for a moment. Immediately after, he smiles maliciously. His face becomes excited, and his eyes open wide, glowing red. At the same time, he raises his sword to finish him off. That wasn't difficult at all. Very quickly, he slashes the man, critically wounding him and causing blood to gush out like a fountain. Back in reality, this black-haired, bespectacled man is the one controlling the game. Seeing the scene just now, he screams loudly. No. It turns out the two characters just now were in the game world. He clutches the screen and wails. "No, it can't end like this. I can't believe Handicap died in such a meaningless way." On the computer screen, text appears, DLC trailer, "Destroy the Demon Lord now, pre-orders open." He complains unwillingly. This shouldn't have happened. Handicap was the hero of the Northern Front, the one who led everyone even in the most desperate situations. A genius at hunting demons and a legend carrying nobility within him. And most importantly, he was the main character of this game. The more he thinks about it, the more he grinds his teeth in frustration. How could the main character die like that? And by the hands of the villain who betrayed his own master, Julian. He slams one hand on the table, while the other grips the computer screen. "Damn it, Frozen Whale Software Company. I had such high expectations for the sequel. And this is how they betray me." His player account with an anonymous avatar appears on the screen. Name Lee Siho, rank 1. Total money, 38 million gold. The achievement content adds, "Destroy the Demon Lord now. You have been registered with Frozen Whale for 5 years. Total playtime in the last 5 years, 10,000 hours. How much money and time have I poured into you people?" Some comments even question if Julian is the main character of this season. Why would a slit-eyed guy like him become the main character this season? But aren't slit eyes pretty cool? You can't guess what he's thinking. That makes him charming. Actually, a ruthless villain is quite attractive. Reading these lines leaves him speechless. "I'm literally out of words." In response, he turns on keyboard warrior mode. "Cool my ass, he's just a traitor." Lee Siho replies, "I don't understand how a slit-eyed guy like that became the main character." Canceling pre-order. After commenting on the forum, he moves the mouse towards the cancel pre-order text. Without hesitation, his finger clicks decisively. A text appears announcing, "You have canceled your pre-order." He waves his hand and turns away as if saying a final goodbye. "We had some good times together, but let's never meet again." Exhausted, he lies on the bed and shouts, "Goodbye. That damn game. What a scam, trash." However, there is a hint of regret in his thoughts. No other game has such beautiful graphics and such a vast world. It soothed my tired heart, which had been hardened by reality after starting my first job. It was the one small resting place I had. And now, he picks up the potted plant next to him. He brings his face close to the potted plant and talks to it. "You're all I have left. Whenever I'm upset, taking care of you makes me feel much better." He looks at the plant affectionately. "Now I understand why old people like growing orchids. Don't become like that stupid game. Grow up well, okay?" Suddenly, a message notification sound pops up from behind. Ding. Siho turns his head and wonders, "What is that?" A notification appears on the screen with the content, "Hello. This is the game development company for Destroy the Demon Lord now. Frozen Whale Software Company. You are Lee Siho, the one who has played our game for the last 5 years, correct?" His face becomes skeptical. A message from Frozen Whale. Is this some kind of automated response? Eventually, he replies, "Yes, that's me." Very quickly, the developer side messages back. "We see that you have canceled your pre-order for the Destroy the Demon Lord Now DLC. We assume you are dissatisfied with how the plot unfolded." Siho has even more doubts in his head. "Thank you. What is this? Do they not want to refund me? What did they just say?" Before he can answer, the publisher sends him a link and says, "Please click on the link below." He doesn't suspect anything and hurriedly clicks the link. The screen light suddenly flares up, startling him. Not only that, it creates a force like a whirlwind. Unconsciously, his head is pulled inside the screen. He tries to resist the danger. "I have to turn this off immediately." Although his hand reaches for the system shutdown, but it seems nothing changes. He screams frantically. It's not working. After being sucked into the screen, the final image is just a white dot. His whole body feels like it's free falling. He wonders what is happening. Am I falling? But where am I falling to? His eyes blink open. Huh? A wasteland? Siho has officially been sucked into the world inside the very game he played. He slowly gets up in confusion. Where am I? After identifying the location, he figures it out. Wait, this is where Jik and Julian fought their final battle. A giant scorpion suddenly appears in front of him. Its claw thrusts toward him, but luckily Siho manages to dodge in the nick of time. This is the demon scorpion that appears and destroy the demon lure now. A system panel appears. Character trait, exceptional swordsmanship, extraordinary instinct. You can instinctively detect the weaknesses of demons. He looks at the system and wonders. Open the game's status window? No time to think. He just uses a cowardly move. I have to run now. Seeing this, the scorpion chases after Siho. He looks at its claw smashing into the ground and confirms. If I get hit by that, I'll be torn to shreds. Very quickly, its claw is right next to him. Damn it. Am I going to die? However, his hand has no reaction. He's curious. What is this? It doesn't hurt? Before he can regain his composure, looking up, the scorpion prepares to close in on him. His face goes pale, realizing he has no other choice. He risks his life and swings a bare-handed punch towards it. A moment later, it slowly goes quiet, not reacting, just looking at him blankly. It worked. He looks at his hand and questions. What just happened? Was my body always this light? A thought suddenly flashes in his mind. Could it be? It can't be. Did I possess a character? The trait exceptional swordsmanship. Extraordinary instinct mentioned. You can instinctively detect the weaknesses of demons. The scorpion with red eyes roars loudly. His hand draws the sword at his waist. I still don't understand what is happening. He spreads his feet to get into a fighting stance. But luckily, the character I possessed is Jik, the character I spent thousands of hours playing. Very skillfully, he swings the sword with power just like the character he controlled. Blue light from the sword quickly rushes towards the scorpion. Very quickly, the sword strike inflicts damage on it. Its body is sliced apart by the slash. He pants to calm down. Did I kill it? As expected from Jik's power. Thinking back on that scene, he guarantees. With this, I can change the plot and prevent Jik from being killed by Julian. After defeating the scorpion, the system panel appears with the content, Swordsmanship Foundation. You have learned the common attack skill, Moonslash. Sensing something is wrong, he asks himself. Moonslash, but that's not Hayden's skill. After remembering, his face turns pale. Wait, to verify, he takes off the hood on his head. He looks at the sword he is holding in his hand. Opening his eyes wide, he sees it is red. Siho remains silent for a long time to define himself. Character appearance, white hair, slit eyes, emotionless face. Exceptional swordsman, perfect mana control, extraordinary instinct applied. Formal speech, there is no doubt about it. He has transformed into the character Julian. In panic, he can only scream. No. Cutting to Julian's castle. Inside his room, he stands looking in the mirror, adjusting his tie neatly. A hypocrite, a potential traitor, Julian Curzay Pfeiffer Jackson. It really fits a character with fox eyes, looking clearly evil. Who would have thought I would become him? He even uses his fingers to stretch his eyelids to check. If I open my eyes, they're about this big. It's still unbelievable. The more he stares, the more he sweats. I have to live with the identity of Julian. I've been living as Julian for a week now. I tried to find a way to return to reality, didn't I? All attempts were in vain. Julian Curzay Pfeiffer Jackson. Character trait, formal speech, speaks respectfully in all language. However, speaking formally even to myself is annoying. Thinking back for a while, he puts his hand to his mouth contemplating. Even so, I look pretty good. Now I understand why he's famous. Body ratio is 8 heads tall, maybe even 9. At the same time, footsteps are approaching his room door from outside. It is a servant of Julian's house. His face looks fearful. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to meet him. It feels like walking into a grave. However, he still gently opens the door and calls him, Lord Julian. Julian turns around and notices. Lord Hazat has arrived. Siho's thoughts suddenly realize. Hazat, a direct bloodline of the Curzay Pfeiffer family. Why is he here? Startled by his expression, the man stammers. Lord Julian, you're scary. Is your body all right? He calmly replies. Thanks to you, I am very healthy. The man crosses his arms, looking satisfied. That's a relief. I didn't expect the invincible Julian to faint. I wonder if I was worrying too much. To dispel the atmosphere, he even tries to laugh for a long time. This makes both of them have the same thought. What is he planning? He wonders. Not just some random person, but Hazat personally came to visit Julian. Just what have you been doing all this time? The inner thoughts of this guy aren't simple either. Julian, you filthy bastard. Seeing me visit personally and still having that relaxed expression, you really aren't simple. Should I try to shake him a bit? The guy suddenly lowers his voice. Julian, I heard a rumor. The rumor is that you have lost your memory. Hearing those 3 words makes him startle. Lost memory? Thinking back on things, he agrees. So that's why everyone whispers to each other every time they see me. I really do look suspicious. His eyes become unusually sinister. Hit the nail on the head. The room falls into an awkward silence. Julian smiles and asks, Hazat, do you also believe that rumor? Even his eyes open to reveal to blood-red pupils. Witnessing this expression, the man is slightly startled. In panic, he tries to explain. How could I? He even stiffens with fear. Shoot, he hasn't been pushed back at all. That smile and those eyes. I can't figure out what his intentions are. Perhaps Julian already knew I was coming here under the orders of the Council of Noble Elders. Be that as it may. A moment later, he regains his composure to continue. Don't pay too much attention to rumors spreading among the maids. Anyway, the reason I came here is because even though I know you are injured, the Council of Elders has spoken, so I came to convey the message. Speaking of the Council of Elders, he must be talking about the Council of Elders established by the nobles. They always consider bloodline the most important factor. Those old direct bloodline geezers won't sit still when a branch member holds power, so. Julian is a member of a branch family, but he considers himself the royal family's dog because of his swordsmanship and exceptional magical ability. He is considered a thorn in the side of this organization, so much so that they just want to eliminate him immediately. Back to reality, Julian asks him, so, what is the message? He replies, participate in the closed-eye entrance exam as an instructor. Hearing this information, he puts his hand to his mouth to think for a while. The closed eye, they secretly carry out missions from the palace, and usually act as royal guards. They are the exclusive organization of the royal family, a gathering of people with incredible martial strength. Julian is also a member of the closed eye. Those who have no goodwill towards me chose me. Suspicious, isn't it? Should I follow their request? In Hezat's head, he confirms one thing. Normally Julian would discover this is a trap by the Council of Elders, and avoid it. How can I persuade Julian? He points at him and speaks with a confident voice. Fine, I will go there as a proctor. Contrary to the initial expectation, this leaves him with many doubts. But your injuries. Julian only sighs. Then he speaks loudly to confirm. Coincidentally, they just healed. This decision makes Hazat sweat even more. He's walking right into the trap, just like that. I don't know anymore, so I'll just flatter him a bit. Good, then prepare yourself and come out. If I stay any longer, who knows what he might do. Just keep some distance for now. Just as he thought he was done and preparing to leave, Julian suddenly speaks up. Wait a moment. His overly suspicious nature begins to rise. Does he not intend to let me go? Hazat waits. He quickly turns around to respond when an orchid pot is thrust into his hands. In his thoughts now, Julian's normal words are unreasonably terrifying. I just wanted to give you an orchid. It will help improve your mood. His face turns dark after leaving the room. Even his legs begin to tremble. He collapses on the floor in a daze. Suddenly in his thoughts, he remembers something. I forgot. His nickname is the Smiling Executioner. Back in Julian's room, he looks at the orchid pots filling the room. Got rid of one pot. The reason for this is because of what I said. This room has somehow become a field of orchids. Now I have to deal with them like this. Anyway, that guy is waiting. I need to get ready and go. If it's Julian, he wouldn't be stupid enough to go out without a sword, right? And to go out, I should wear. Just as he opens the closet, he is shocked. What is this? Inside are clothes that make people's eyes hurt. Is he crazy? This fashion style of his. Reaching for the clothes, he complains. I hate this. But I have to act like Julian perfectly. Everything is ready. He starts calling Hazat. I'm ready. Let's go. I'm looking forward to the oral exam. While sitting comfortably in the carriage, he asks him, where is the exam taking place? Hazat explains. As stated before, the closed-eye entrance exam will be held at the Vale Academy training grounds. He looks out the window and thinks briefly. Vale Academy. It wasn't a major area in the game, but I consider it as such. Seeing Julian have no reaction makes him a bit curious. Didn't you already know about the academy? After all, you came from Vale Academy. Hearing that answer makes him a bit awkward. I didn't expect that at all. Julian regains his composure and replies. It's been a long time. I'm sure it has changed. Hazat finds it reasonable. Oh, really? From the academy, huh? I hope no one remembers Julian from back then at the academy. There are many things I want to forget too. After traveling for a while, the carriage finally arrives at the exam site. The driver announces to the two of them, Lord Julian, Lord Hazat, we have arrived at Vale Academy. After getting off, he subconsciously praises. It looks huge in real life. I only saw it in the game. Not hearing his words, the other asks, what did you say? Realizing the sudden remark, he quickly reacts, no, nothing at all. No matter how great the game graphics are, they can't compare to reality. On Hezat's side, he scrutinizes his face. Crazy guy. What is he plotting with that face? Julian turns his head and sees him shivering. Anyway, isn't he scared? I feel a bit bad in this situation. To make him more comfortable, he calls out casually, brother. Hazat startles and replies, yes. He rests his hands. You can go now. I am very happy you escorted me all the way here. However, contrary to the suggestion, he refuses, no, since I came all this way. I also want to see how the exam goes. His eyes open again to stare intently. I thought he wanted to escape from here immediately. And what was that worrying aura I saw earlier? In his vision, Hazat's whole body emits a purple energy. Maybe he is scared. Looking closer just makes him curious. Mana? Maybe it's not magic power or some energy of his erupting. He asks Julian. Why are you looking at me like that? Is it emotion? Could it be the feeling of fear? To verify this, he opens the system panel to look it up. Trait, color of negativity. Rank, unique. You feel negative emotions directed directly at you. You can guess the emotion based on the color of the negative aura. After finding the source, he points his finger at the board. That's it. On Hezat's side, he misunderstands. Why are you pointing at me so? Now that I think about it, Julian was always very good at guessing other people's emotions. He was especially good at exploiting people's emotions, especially the emotion of fear. He could win a battle by using the opponent's fear without having to lift a finger. He also used the opponent's anger to make them go mad and make mistakes in battle. I'm sure it's all thanks to this trait. The reason Hazat isn't leaving is fear. So he is here with me. Perhaps the Council of Elders ordered him to keep an eye on me. The Council of Elders seems to consider me a thorn in their side. Well, it's understandable. Julian is extremely infamous. I'm sure they want to deal with him quickly to avoid trouble. Now there's a rumor that he lost his memory. This is the best time for the Council of Elders to act against me. Of course, I can't just let it be. I need to act. I need to survive and return to the real world. Suddenly from behind, a boy with chestnut hair carelessly bumps into Julian. He quickly bows to apologize before finishing his sentence. When he is scared to death by Julian's face, he panics and screams loudly, "Lord, Lord, Lord Julian." This not only makes him embarrassed, but also makes the situation more awkward. The chestnut-haired boy's scream draws the attention of people in the academy. It's Julian. Fox-eyed Julian. Why is the royal family's mad dog here? That person is done for. How dare he speak like that? Hazat tries to intervene. Julian, calm down. He's still young. The misunderstanding makes him even more annoyed. I haven't done anything yet. He even clenches his fist unconsciously. Damn it. Whatever. I hate Julian too. All those emotions of fear and such are erupting towards me. From afar in the crowd, a girl stares at him, as if understanding the situation. Siho truly hates this person. Julian, why can't you treat people a little better? I'm not good at dealing with crowds, but I need to calm everyone down. The girl from earlier quickly takes the initiative to speak to break the chaotic atmosphere. Welcome, Lord Julian. They look at each other for a moment in silence. To explain a bit, this long-haired girl is named Ellen Donation. She is one of the first characters to appear and destroy the Demon Lord now, and is also an instructor at Vale Academy, a person linked to the magic tower of the Adratan Empire. She is a genius mage who can control the metal element of the 5 elements, reaching the rank of a 5-circle mage at only 24 years old. When I was a player, she gave Jake a lot of useful advice in the academy section. But there is one thing that puzzles him. Why does Alan welcome Julian? He scratches his neck looking for a while. Do they know each other? Anyway, this has made the atmosphere much less tense. Wait, I see her negative color. This isn't good. Fear, anger, neither is correct. That is the emotion of hatred. But why does she hate me? Or rather, what the hell did Julian do to her? Ellen is a high-level mage. I shouldn't do anything to make her think I'm strange or she will cause uncontrollable trouble. I need to think of a way to calm the situation down. Have to think fast. However, he blurts out an unexpected sentence. A half-blood of the Donation family. Who gave you the right to speak to me? This sentence makes Ellen's mood even more unpleasant. The atmosphere now becomes even more tense than at the beginning. Now she doesn't know what to say. The problem is I can guess many things because I played the game. The situation hasn't eased at all. It's escalating. Out of options, he draws the sword at his waist. Being a half-blood makes you deaf too? Even though he knows he still doesn't enjoy being Julian, I'm sure I have to continue playing the villain. Ellen's reflection is shown on the sword. He provokes. Do you know what sound a person makes when they die? Julian walks towards her slowly with intent. Are you scared? Now I can finally control you. Ellen's whole body radiates golden energy. She asks, did you just draw your sword? Even if it's you. Fox-eyed Julian. You shouldn't behave like this in front of a student and a professor. This is an act of violence against all academy rules. I cannot turn a blind eye to this. Hearing this sentence raises many questions in his head. Ellen's face turns slightly red. Prepare yourself. I won't be an easy opponent. The event shocks him. Wait, I intended to retreat after scaring her like a villain. Without hesitation, Ellen runs fast towards him. In her hand accumulates energy resembling a lightning ball. She attacks directly, overwhelming him. Julian lowers his guard a bit. TSK, is she seriously fighting right now? In her thoughts, Ellen misunderstands that he is looking down on her because he dares to look away. To protect everyone around, she urgently announces to the students, Students, please evacuate from this area immediately. Seeing this, the students can only grit their teeth and follow her words. Immediately after the group urges each other to run, Hazat looks over for a moment. What the hell is going on? I should have left when Julian told me to. Hearing Julian's laugh, Ellen startles and turns her head back. He advances to counter. You shouldn't look away, especially in the middle of a battle. His handsome face suddenly gets close to Ellen's face. This inadvertently makes her face turn bright red. Trying not to be controlled by emotions, she continues to pour all her power towards him. The light of power from her seems to cover half of Julian's face. To be safer, he chooses to step back to defend. That attack is terrifying if that hits. Looking at Ellen's expression, he guesses she is pouring her emotions into this battle. On Ellen's side, she is panting, while complaining, damn it, I didn't intend to make it a fatal blow like that. But he dodged all my attacks. Just like my expectations for Julian. Speaking of a side story, at some point, I thought you had excellent acting. She and Julian used to go to the same academy, and he was her senior. When female students saw him, they exclaimed in praise. Senior Julian? Is he really from the academy though? He's even more attractive than the current seniors. That's right, Ellen was a first-year student at Vale Academy at that time. She looked at him with admiration, bordering on infatuation. Senior Julian is really so cool. Not only does he have many connections with the students, He is like a shining star thanks to his swordsmanship at the academy. Julian's beauty in her eyes was no different from a Prince Charming stepping out of a fairy tale. When I look at him, I have hope that coming from a branch family won't hinder me here. That's right, Julian, no. That bastard used to be someone I looked up to. I fully trusted that he could change society's prejudices against people from families like mine. Back then, when I still couldn't distinguish between respect and love. She gathered all her courage to confess her feelings to Julian. Please accept this, senior. Because of this naivety, I confessed to him and was rejected. This cause turned her feelings into resentment towards Julian. Her mind is getting more and more chaotic. This situation leaves him just standing there, not knowing how to resolve it. In an instant, he dodges Ellen's attack again. The more he looks at her, the more annoyed he gets. It was so close, I almost beat him. Her face falls. Why is her face so red? Is she angry? Ellen screams. Is it that hard to take one hit? Would getting hit once kill you? After yielding for a while, he determines. I think I should end this. Immediately after, Julian quickly moves behind Ellen, then gently taps her on the head. He asks jokingly, making her face tense. Why don't we stop playing around like this? Feeling teased by him, she snaps back. What do you think you are doing? Are you looking down on me? Why don't you use the moonlight sword you drew earlier? You could have killed me if you wanted to. I felt the mana radiating from you. So why? Hearing this question, he smirks slightly. You really want to know, Miss Ellen? Her eyes suddenly become strangely happy. No way he could have realized my feelings all this time. That's right, Julian explains. Because this is the first time Azad has come here, so he can't show me where the training ground is. And the others were too scared to show me where it is. Hearing this answer, Ellen freezes for 5 seconds. He extends his hand towards her. If you understand now, could you please lead me there? Azad reminds gently from behind. Julian, can't you speak more politely? She really doesn't understand his thoughts. What kind of crazy reason is that? While walking, Siho ponders about the moonlight sword. She must be talking about Julian's sword. Normally, if someone covers their sword with aura, it will be seen as a glow wrapping around the sword, but Julian's sword is a bit special. The sword turns into a dazzling light, as if holding the moonlight within it. Julian used that sword to kill countless demons, and after witnessing it, people named it the moonlight sword to express respect and awe. Thus, that sword is like Julian's trademark and source of power. So how do I know how to forge it? The fact that Ellen is catching up to my strength is a bad sign. This is bad. I need to make sure she doesn't find out the truth. Seeing Julian act strange, Ellen and Hazat behind are both startled. What is he doing? He turns slightly asking. Is something wrong with you? She denies it and continues to respond. Nothing, follow me this way. This is the training ground. Julian gently pushes the door to enter the training ground. As he enters, he adds, hope everyone is doing well. Sorry I'm a bit late. Professor Ellen got distracted on the way here. Hearing these excuses only provokes her more. He puts his hand on his chest, introducing himself to everyone. My name is Julian Kurze Pfeiffer Jackson, and I will be in charge of your entrance exam today. I guess everyone here has heard my name. While Julian is talking, Hazat looks around for a while. His eyes strain for a moment. Where is he? Immediately after, he looks towards a handsome white-haired boy with a dignified face. There he is, the second son of the Toso family. I knew he would be present. Hey, speaking of the Toso family, they are known for having been friends with the Kurze Pfeiffer family for a long time. Naturally, being respected by the closed eye is a huge honor. An organization directly linked to a family, the royal family, but implying that to achieve that, the competition is extremely high. The entrance exam is a battle between the instructor and the candidates. And in that process, if Julian causes the second son of the Toso family to fail humiliatingly, then the elders will see this as an opportunity to take him down. This will be where his reputation ends. Julian calmly continues. So it seems everyone wants to be instructed by me. The group gently and politely answers, yes. He makes a face to provoke the students. I have seen a lot of trash facing enemies already. Cowards when facing enemies. Those with innocent eyes easily deceived, and swords drawn half-heartedly as if to make me laugh. The closed eye is not a place where people like you can learn. This is a cruel empire. And as your senior, I will tell you about my personal experience with it. With that, we will start the entrance exam. The condition to enter is, kill me, after dropping this sentence. His facial expression exudes danger. The students in the courtyard also have to worry about this difficult rule. He holds the sword to his neck and puts on a dangerous act. I'm done for. I just learned that the entrance exam is a duel. Before that, Hazat warned him, Julian, even though it's just an entrance exam, don't go easy on them. This causes him to panic. You want me to duel them? In the fight with Ellen, the only thing I could do was run away. And if I have to participate in an official duel, I will. Siho thought about the scenario of fighting them with his real strength. The students would not stop mocking him, like, is he really that weak? He didn't even use the moonlight sword. Was that just a baseless rumor? Or has he really lost his memory? Maybe that's exactly what will happen. Right now, he needs to come up with a reasonable excuse to cancel his match. Furthermore, if I start acting suspicious, someone might attack me out of hatred. After thinking thoroughly, he finally follows the plan. If that's the case, the best move is to provoke them from the start to gain the upper hand. He puts on an authoritative air, loud and clear. What's wrong, everyone? The exam only ends when I die. or when there are no candidates left, right? It seems his words had an effect on them. The entire exam courtyard falls silent for a long time. Suddenly, a student's trembling hand raises. Me. I quit. The first person speaks up, and a few seconds later, the rest of the crowd also raises their hands one by one. Me too. I will also quit. However, around that crowd, only the white-haired boy from the Toso family is still hesitating. He grinds his teeth in annoyance. Then he also raises his hand in unison. I will also quit. Seeing this, Hazat cannot help but be astounded. He's lying. They all quit. Seeing the satisfactory result, he brings his hand to his mouth and laughs softly. Then he flips his coat to let it fly in the wind, announcing to all students, the exam is over as there are no candidates left. In his thoughts, Siho feels like he won a great victory. I did it, just like Julian. His aggressive nature helped me in situations like this. He glances at Ellen, showing off. How was that, Ellen? Did fear overwhelm your hatred? However, Ellen's aura right now doesn't emit the smell of resentment, but instead a gentle, girly aura. Julian finds it strange. I don't sense fear from her. Is the color of negativity not working? A trait suddenly stopping like that could mean something unexpected. If that's true, it's big trouble. On Ellen's side, she bites her lips, sensing Julian again. What he just did reminds me of Senior Julian, back then, when he avoided unnecessary battles by intimidating the opponent. Switching to the closed-eye area, Hazat calls him, Julian, hey Julian. It turns out he met him just to praise him. Good job, Julian. He thinks for a moment to find a way to respond. A moment later, he pats him on the shoulder awkwardly. Sensing something ominous, he asks clumsily, is something wrong? Julian calmly replies, nothing. You are the one who did all the hard work. The color of negativity seems to still work on him. On the side, another boy butts in. Good evening, sir. His eyes even light up. What you did earlier was amazing. He frankly introduces himself to Julian. Yes, I am Zajid, in charge of administrative tasks for the academy. It's an honor to meet you. So the rumor about you losing your memory turned out to be false. You completed the exam without fighting any candidates. In his head, he gets even more tired. This guy keeps babbling nonstop. Not stopping, he continues. And also, I heard the second son of the Toso family was one of the candidates. But even that didn't make you go easy on them, as expected of you. Realizing his mouth has gone too far, Hazat points at him and scolds. How dare you? Are you intentionally emphasizing that the second son of the Toso family failed the exam? Zajid, not understanding what's happening, startles. Sir, I didn't mean that. He continues to growl. You dare to be so arrogant while still in training, saying that knowing full well the relationship between the Toso family and the Kurze Pfeiffer family. Very quickly, Julian manages to break the atmosphere. Hazat, I think you are misunderstanding something. Or perhaps the Toso family is the one misunderstanding something. The closed eye does not accept nobles. Since this organization belongs directly to the royal family, only commoners or fallen nobles can join. Hearing this explanation, both of them look confused. Aren't you also a noble? He points straight at him. Responding to him, he narrows his eyes and answers. I am a descendant of a branch family, a mongrel of the Kurze Pfeiffer family. That is why. The second son of the Toso family participated in the entrance exam, even knowing well that he wouldn't pass the second round of testing. Is the Toso family trying to forge their son with practical experience? Or is there a conspiracy behind this entrance exam? Hearing the word conspiracy, Hazat's whole body starts to tremble. He clenches his fist unconsciously. Bastard. He already knows. He knows this exam was set up by the old Geezers and that I am involved with them. Fast as the wind, he smiles sharply. However, that cannot be the truth. Perhaps it is simply a misunderstanding. Hazat, hearing this, can only remain silent, saying nothing. Otherwise, it would be a pity if things happen undesirably. After finishing the work, both return to Julian's villa. The surrounding servants bow politely to greet him. You're finally back, sir. Welcome back. One gently asks, will you have dinner? He gently refuses. No, no need. Also, don't let anyone into my office. Understanding the intention, the maid gently replies, yes, young master. He goes inside the office and locks the door, gently places the sword on the table, then leans back on the chair, breathing a sigh of relief. Phew. From Hazat's reaction earlier, it seems the Council of Elders really set a trap for this entrance exam. I was lucky not to be discovered today, but I don't know how long this luck will last. At some point, the Council of Elders might really discover Julian's weakness, my weakness, and that could lead to me being expelled from the family. His eyes glance towards the sword, revealing that I can't use the moonlight sword worries me. Being able to use the moonlight sword, in other words, having overwhelming power over others. Looking at the weapon, he focuses unusually. If that's the case, maybe I should try to unlock the power of the moonlight sword. He squints one eye, observing the sword radiating blue energy carefully. His hand grips the moonlight sword tightly, hoping it will radiate power. Just as I thought. It won't activate by itself. The trait Julian possesses, exceptional swordsmanship, allows him to face no obstacles in swordplay. And as soon as I hold the sword pots, the path the sword must take, become visible before my eyes. Trait, exceptional swordsmanship. Rank, gifted. You have been familiar with the sword since birth. You were born to walk the path of a swordsman. As long as it takes the shape of a sword regardless of type, you can use it. Even possessing such an excellent trait, he realizes. But this still isn't enough. In this empire, are there countless people with swordsmanship equal to me? Equal to Julian. Just counting characters with titles, there are dozens, maybe even hundreds. But the difference between them and Julian is clear. There is an overwhelming gap in skill when it comes to using aura or mana. This is the reason he could survive despite having extreme thinking. He looks at the sword gloomily on purpose, but can I do that right now? If mana flows backward, vital organs can be destroyed. Controlling mana is extremely dangerous. Just thinking about the scene makes him sweat for a moment. No, sooner or later, I will have to prove myself. If the concept of mana in the game and this world is the same, who have played this game hundreds of times, know the method well. I need to guide the stored mana in the heart to the mana circuits, the organs storing mana in the body. Among the 38 mana circuits, there are 6 major circuits that are most important, and among them, the major circuit in the head. It is the essence of mana connecting directly to the heart. If I activate that area, Julian tries to concentrate solidly. His blood-red eyes suddenly light up. Looking down at his hand, he exclaims, the aura is vibrating. Now, I need to move the mana flow in the body to another location. The resistance is greater than I thought, but Julian has the ability to do it. In an instant, the sword's light flares up unusually. He asks himself, success. Contrary to expectation, in less than a minute it returns to its old state. I guess so. Moonlight sword, incomplete. Instead of complaining, he confidently swings the sword. It has been materialized, but it's still weak. While using it, he notices the detail on the sword. What is this? A crescent moon. Anyway, at least the moon has appeared on the first day. The next morning, Julian goes to the training area alone. He gets into a combat preparation stance. The moonlight sword is drawn skillfully. Julian quickly slashes the wooden logs proficiently. The cuts create an eye-catching blue trajectory. The wooden logs are destroyed simply. He puts the sword back in the sheath and praises himself. Phew. At least I reached the level of a knight. Now I just need to perfect the moonlight sword. But my knowledge of the game is gradually running out. I can do it. I need someone who knows me well. I mean about Julian. Someone Julian would look to for advice. While thinking, a maid gently comes to ask him, Lord Julian, you have a guest. He thinks to himself. Guest? Julian has friends. Perfect timing. It turns out to be the red-haired boy who admired him at the closed eye yesterday. Shouting loudly as soon as he arrives, Lord Julian, hello. Julian just sighs slightly and says one word, Zajid. The boy is unusually excited. Oh, you remember my name. Not because of my behavior yesterday, right? Seeing the anxious expression on Zajid's face. He suspects. How could I forget someone who talks so much in front of Julian? I don't know what kind of person he is. Brave or simply stupid? Julian answers directly, getting straight to the point. So, what are you doing here? Zajid announces, I received orders from the commander to confirm the results of the entrance exam. That took place at Vale Academy yesterday from you. Hearing that, he puts his hand to his chin, guessing, didn't you see the results yourself yesterday? Zajid feels awkward. Receiving results from the examiner and then relaying them is part of the procedure. Truly a useless procedure. The closed eye is really inefficient. Julian thinks for a while and orders. Report like this. No one passed the entrance exam. He obeys and quickly accepts. Roger. I will report back to the commander. Just as Zajid prepares to leave, Julian turns around and speaks to him. Wait, you said you would report back to the commander, right? Then let me do it myself. Hearing this proposal makes him startle a bit. You will report yourself, Lord Julian. Julian not only is in high spirits but also orders more. That's right. Accompany me to the carriage. I will give you a ride. The scene truly astonishes Zajid. What? The energy of fear starts to gather round his head. Lord Julian, did I make a mistake? Surely it's because of yesterday, right? Julian bluntly answers, no. I'm just concerned about you, because I thought you might feel uncomfortable returning alone. Julian, you should have lived a kinder life. Anyway, things have come to this. Should I seek him out for advice? The commander of the closed eye. Surely he knows Julian well. And I will arrange so the Kurzay Pfeiffer family cannot pull any schemes. When the closed eye is involved, by saying one word. Cutting to another magnificent villa. A close servant is urgently shouting, Commander, there is trouble. The commander he just mentioned retorts. What is so noisy? It better be something serious. He continues. He came here personally. The commander wonders. Who? Julian Kurzay Pfeiffer Jackson. He came to meet you personally. After hearing this name, the commander suddenly stops, the pen in hand. The commander's eyes light up. He came personally, Julian? Switching to the Adratan Imperial Mansion. Julian's face is happy seeing this place. Finally, I get to see this place with my own eyes. The game, Continent Jozenda, was dominated by 3 powerful nations. Among them, the most powerful nation is none other than the Adratan Empire, where Julian currently is. After Demon King Barbados was sealed, the kingdom that had declined began to speed up the transition to a monarchy, making it an extremely powerful kingdom. And the thing that proved it was none other than this magnificent mansion. Siho, witnessing it with his own eyes, has to exclaim, wow, this is truly overwhelming. Zajid sees Lord Julian's look of interest and misunderstands again. Why is he smiling? So scary. There is one thing Zajid doesn't understand deep down. Normally, Julian wouldn't meet face to face and would call someone to go instead. But now he goes directly to report to the captain of the One-Eyed. And with someone like me, how can such a thing happen? Everyone in the room looks at them and whispers. What is going on? Julian is here. Wasn't he injured? He looks perfectly fine. Did he lose his memory? Or is he joking? Zajid feels uncomfortable. This is an honor, but I feel like I'm about to faint. Julian starts a conversation with him. The scenery at the Imperial Palace is truly majestic. The commander must be somewhere around Gate 2, right? The Genin Trio Gate. This is the first gate. The Genin Trio Gate, open to everyone. Finding it strange, he wonders. Why is he talking about this? Everyone knows these things, right? Overthinking explodes in his head. Could this be a test for me? Look at that humble expression. Does that mean he's trying to blend in with commoners like me? So, I need to take a test here too. If I don't guide him properly, I might fail this test. Meanwhile, Julian calmly observes the scene. It's much bigger than in the game. I couldn't even imagine. Found where the one-eyed building is. Seeing Zajid's expression isn't cheerful, he asks, "What are you doing? Are you unwell?" He shakes his head. "No, I'm normal. Good health is most important for the one-eyed." The two finally walk up. He declares loudly, crossing his arms. "We have arrived." He asks him again. "So, Lord Julian, I passed, right? Wasn't it all a test from the beginning?" Julian, hearing this question, gets visibly annoyed, accompanied by a confused reaction. "Why would I test you, Zajid?" Julian's words make him curious. Does that mean I am a qualified person to be a member of the One-Eyed? After understanding, he nods enthusiastically. "Thank you." Then, "Excuse me." He looks at Zajid's retreating back and scratches his neck. Truly a strange boy. The building's supervisor informs him. The commander says he may enter. "So, let's go in." Julian's boss, huh? Commander Oberjoquin Ballader, the sole heir of the weakened Ballader family. Her strength and leadership are enough to secure a key position in the leadership. The One-Eye needs people loyal only to the Imperial family. Thus, everything can only be led and gathered by her. I'm curious what she looks like in person. I'm a little nervous. Julian stands outside, knocking gently. "Commander, I'm coming in." A voice inside rings out. "Come in." "Whatever." A petite white-haired girl is sitting on the chair working hard. Then she orders, "Julian and Z, it's been a while." This is Commander Oberjoquin Ballader, whom he interacts with. "I heard you were injured. Are you okay?" He sees her with his own eyes and is a bit skeptical. So this is Oberjoquin Ballader. Commander of the One-Eyed? Amazing. But so petite, unexpected. I remember the description saying she was petite. But to this extent, a woman, no. That's not the problem. But isn't this a girl too young? Commander Ballader points a finger at him suspiciously. Did I almost blurt out that she was always this small? He quickly makes an excuse. No, of course not. Reading Julian's mind like a book. No wonder she's the commander. She continues. "So how is your wound, Julian? Report to me." He thinks about this for a moment. How should I say this now? She is not a pleasant person, so I have to be careful with my words. But if I lie, I might be suspected. Even someone like Julian has to express respect to the commander. Also because the One-Eyed is described as the watchdog of the Imperial family who obeys blindly. After that, he bows, showing kindness. "Thank you for your concern." The wound is not too worrying. It is not enough to shake my loyalty to the Imperial family. Seeing she has no reaction, he wonders, did I say something wrong? Immediately she slams her hand on the table, then slowly walks towards Julian. Strange. She asks, "Do you usually talk like that?" She even points the sword hilt at him. Something is very strange, Julian. Seeing the commander's current emotion, he tries to suppress it. This is the color of injustice. She is suspecting me. Trait color of injustice, suspicion. Siho's inner mind screams, wondering about the host, Julian. What have you been doing to my senior all this time? Out of options, he risks it all by grabbing the sword hilt. Acting tough like a true villain and looking dangerous. Is there a problem? Her eyes judge him. Holding my sword. Normally, you rarely come to headquarters, and even if you do, you just report and leave. You suddenly became polite, Julian, saying that she returns to her desk. This detail makes him hard to predict. I just thought he should at least know how to distinguish between public and private areas in the One-Eyed. I underestimated Julian. It's also because of the nature of the work. It's quite important, so I had to come here to report personally. She asks again, "Is that so?" Being questioned constantly makes him more tired. "Yeah, what else do you want? We have to be bold like Julian. I know you are authoritative, but do you intend to control my privacy too?" The commander's face looks helpless. "Planning to cause trouble as soon as you return, huh? I heard your head isn't right due to the injury, but it seems you recovered well." This annoys him. She's right, but targeted the wrong place. To someone who can say that in front of Julian, this woman named Oswald is not a normal person. Back to the main point, she asks him, "So report. Was there anyone useful in the recruitment exam?" He calmly answers one word, "No." She calmly listens and replies, "Well, I thought so. You are a disciple of Sword Saint Haydnjik. So mediocre skills are no different from a joke to you. Normal. I'm asking if there is anyone skilled enough to become a candidate for the headquarters." But Julian's answer is still no. So she understands the problem with the answer. "Wait, so you didn't choose anyone?" "Correct." Looking at his face, trying to ask for the reason. "Why? Because of what?" Julian can only smile slightly and remain silent, unable to speak. She asks again for the second time. "Why?" Unable to endure, she raises her voice. "Why did you do that? Are you crazy?" "I suspected it, but I still can't stand it. Currently, the One-Eyed is short on manpower. We need more people, even just one." He explains. "We can't just accept anyone even if we lack people. Also, Commander, none of the participants this time were suitable for the One-Eyed." She rejects Julian's excuse. "Even so, If you chose a candidate and retested, there might be someone useful. He shakes his head wearily. A waste of time. They didn't even reach the candidate level. The truth is I avoided fighting. After arguing for a while, she gives up. This meaningless. Get out. Before leaving, he wants to share something. Before that, I have a request. The commander looks at him suspiciously. What nonsense are you talking about? Julian reaches into his coat pocket and places a letter on the desk. She asks him, what is this? He explains. I have reorganized the issues of the recruitment exam. The commander picks up the letter and looks at it for a moment. Problems. Okay. Julian nods in agreement. Yeah, it seems everyone knows nothing about the one-eyed. Is that so? Well, I think it is necessary to know what the organization is before they. Good. It better be useful. If accepting participation in the exam, the one-eyed is not responsible for any accidents that occur. She forces a smirk, thinking this is like, you will fight to the death with the candidates. Am I understanding correctly, Julian? Hearing these words from the commander, he feels somewhat satisfied and just laughs. She points at the paper. No answer. So I'm right. Strange, Julian. The person holding the second highest position in the one-eyed only after me. He never interfered in internal matters like this before. Don't tell me that's the reason you didn't choose anyone. Afraid someone would get hurt and you'd have to take responsibility. He shrugs slightly. Yeah, plus, those who don't agree to the exam are completely useless. Don't we belong to the royal family? Tarnishing the reputation of nobles is unforgivable. After that, she waves her hands signaling. Got it. Honestly, every time it involves the royal family, you talk too much. I will submit this to the council. Can't promise it will be passed. Yes, hearing this commitment. He nods. Thank you, Commander Oswald Quinn. Then, I'm leaving. Oswald asks him a few more things. I'll wait. I heard there is a letter from the Royal Secretariat sent to your room. Check it. The commander thinks about this issue. The one-eyed is not responsible for any accidents, meaning even if they kill someone in the exam, they will be absolved. Of course, because of it, the exam also has to change. Before, only fallen nobles and neutral commoners could join the one-eyed. Now those without power will be eliminated. Now there will be no problem. Julian must know this. So the real purpose of this is, he realized the Council of Elders and the Toso family are controlling the exam. So this is how he strikes back at the headquarters? I saw your plan. If you do that again, I won't let it pass. That is his message. Very brave, Julian. Planning to attack the Council of Elders like this, the commander calls someone over. The person outside arrives quickly. You called, Commander. She gives Julian's letter to him and instructs, take this to the council. He changed after getting injured. Before, Julian only knew how to follow royal orders, so people called him the royal family's loyal dog, a motionless monster daring not to bite its master. Now that dog has bitten off the chain and started making profit for himself. This is a headache. I have to watch him more. Switching to Julian. I made it all the way here to Julian's room at the closed-eye headquarters. Normally, the closed-eye wouldn't arrange private offices because they don't need to be on standby. If an organization like this arranges a private room for someone, I wonder if I am this arrogant. He opens the wardrobe. Inside appear flashy clothes that hurt the eyes. The more he looks at them, the more he wonders. What are these weird decorations? Expensive items unrelated to work. This place is even worse than Julian's house. Is he crazy? They look so expensive and weird. I can't understand this fox-eyed villain. He has terrible taste. I can't believe I am him. What did I step on if you didn't intend to keep them? Why did you buy them? I guess Julian also has shopping problems. A knock comes from outside. He politely orders, come in. It turns out to be Zajid. Greetings, sir. I came to forward the letter sent to me from the royal family. Is it you again, Zajid? I feel like I've met you all day today. He doesn't care and hands the letter to him. Is this it? This is probably the letter the captain mentioned to me. After the mission you withdrew from. Then, I will excuse myself first. Julian calls him back. Wait. Perfect timing. Please take these statues to the carriage I brought here. They probably won't be too heavy. Zajid pants and asks again. You mean all of these? Correct, yes. Looking at the mess in front, Zajid frowns slightly, lips pursed as if holding back a sigh. I can't believe it. He gave me work again. I guess I won't be doing practical training for long. I understand. I will move them right away. Julian laughs inwardly, observing him making that strange face again. He is eagerly bustling about. Immediately after, his foot trips over an item, perhaps a wooden box inlaid with gems. His whole body stumbles, falls to the ground. Zajid lands on the floor awkwardly, making Julian confused too. Oh my. You really have a lot of work, Zajid. He scrambles up, hands still clutching his sword, perhaps ready to accept punishment. I was going to throw them away anyway, so I apologize, sir. I can't believe I acted like this in front of you. But Julian just waves his hand, voice calm. It's not like that, Zajid. He leans and whispering jokingly. He must be too scared. I'll try to make the atmosphere lighter by cracking a joke. Cleaning up will be harder if you die here. Now then, continue your work. Zajid, scared, can only say, yes. Oh, I scared him again because I am in Julian's body. Well, that was predictable. I shouldn't break them. I'll read the letter while waiting. This is the royal family seal, just like in the game. Sent to Lord Julian, a member of the Kurze Pfeiffer family and an office worker of the Closed Eye. Lucky I can read royal script. That's pretty cool. What they say simply is, if I have recovered, then I should return to work. I feel like they are just enslaving me, and they are trying to sugarcoat it. Even so, brother, I have no opinion. Not that I'm complaining. I think having more experience in this field will be important, because I haven't found any clues about the moonlight sword. Julian ponders. The mission is to restore the resonant stone. Resonant stones in the game world destroy the demon lore now. There are monsters called demons after Demon King Barbados died. What remains of him can manifest as parasites or other physical forms. They became known as demons in this world and started attacking humans. And the items used to restrain them are called resonant stones. They are the great legacy of mages. Regarding Julian, he wonders how they can create stones with magic power. Since I am not a mage, perhaps the mission means I will have to protect a mage restoring the stone. I have no reason to refuse, although there is a risk of fighting demons. If I succeed in this mission, the current suspicions and bad rumors about Julian will diminish. I don't know who the mage I have to protect will be. To handle a resonant stone requires a skilled mage. I hope it's a good person. Switching to the scene of the Adratan Royal Palace, a voice speaks up with a bit of complaint. Do I have to continue writing these after becoming a professor? Ellen walks while using her skill to make books float in the air, constantly having to prove myself. I guess that's the life of a mage, but the royal family's demands are too high. While walking leisurely, a finger taps lightly on her shoulder. Ellen turns reflexively asking, "Who is it?" It is a blue-haired girl openly wondering, "What are you doing at the palace?" She replies quickly, "Diana, long time no see. Are you doing well?" Turns out they are friends who haven't met in a long time. Ellen, you must be the one called the youngest professor here. Is that true? Hard to meet you these days. Hearing Diana's praise, she can only smile shyly. How? You don't need to flatter me like that. Not stopping, her friend proposes. Give time now. There's a tea party. Do you want to go with me? She looks away to answer. Excuse me. I really want to, but I have a lot of work on my schedule. Diana hears this and sympathizes. Oh, I see. You are still diligent as ever. Reminds me of when we were students, nothing changed. Remembering old times makes Ellen a bit unhappy. Diana asks her what's wrong. While caring for each other, her friend points behind. Is that Senior Julian's carriage over there? Ellen observes, and it is just as her friend said. Wait, she's right. That emblem is only used for collateral assets of the Kurze Pfeiffer family. That is definitely Julian's carriage. Diana whispers again, playful tone. I heard he was at death's door, yet he's back already. Truly a persistent person. That's right. Not stopping, she even presses her cheek to Ellen asking, "Oh, what's this?" Blushing. Ellen, don't tell me. You still have feelings for him. Ellen hears this and blushes like a teenage girl. I don't know what you are talking about. Diana recounts. My little Ellen was an extremely lovely girl back then. When you heard a rumor saying you would never be rejected, if you confessed under the cherry blossom tree on the hill behind the academy, you called Julian all the way there. To stop her friend from saying more, Ellen squeezes Diana's shoulder. Friend, why don't we go to the tea party? Huh? Her friend jokes again. I thought you said you were busy, Professor. Then Ellen continues to make up stories. With a lie. I suddenly remembered I have some free time, haha. Diana sympathizes with her. You don't need to be ashamed about that. Who didn't like Senior Julian back then, even though you were the one who chased him the most? She listens and just says thank you very much. Thinking back on Diana's words, Ellen finds them true. At that time, he was completely different from now. He became like this after returning from the north and joining the Closed Eye. He changed. Her friend suggests, why don't you go and say hello? Ellen acts annoyed. Just because I used to like him doesn't mean I still like him now. Besides, I haven't had to face him in a long time. Seeing the unusual point, the friend asks why. Ellen explains, I won't be returning to the palace for a while. What she shows Diana makes her friend astonished. Oh my, that is. It's a letter from the royal family. Correct, Ellen says. They gave me a mission. Finding it strange, she asks, what mission? Ellen replies proudly, they gave me the mission to restore a resonant stone. As Julian's magnificent carriage rolls up, the kingdom's guards begin to whisper. So many escort knights. Did someone important arrive? That's right. Even the Blue Lion Knights are accompanying the Closed Eye. And heard that even Lord Julian of the Closed Eye is personally participating. What? But he lost his memory due to injury, right? Surely people jealous of him spread rumors. I had a feeling it was like that. Someone who doesn't bleed when stabbed. How could he be injured, right? But we made the right decision dividing the task. Public opinion is leaning towards us. From the side, the people start a conversation with him. Lord Julian, thank you for your service. They introduce themselves. I am Fen, a member of the Blue Lion Knights. I am Henerdrick. He sees the two and politely responds, then orders. Blue Lion Knights, you worked hard. Please escort the mage safely to the destination. The reason is, what if a giant demon appears? Very scary. Who knows what will happen? Ho ho ho, yes. They ask him further. By the way, Lord Julian, you plan to travel by carriage. Please leave the escorting to us Blue Lion Knights and travel comfortably. He hears and understands implicitly. Sounds like a formal offer. But it doesn't seem very convenient for Julian, does it? The Blue Lion Knights. A regular royal unit, right? Unlike the Closed Eye, most regular knights are selected by nobles. So they are ensuring someone from a branch family doesn't walk ahead of nobles. In novels, everyone goes to another world to live comfortably. But I am here playing the villain stuck in this awkward situation. What do you think? Traveling in a carriage is still more comfortable than talking. Finally he decides. Fine. Let's do that. The two signal each other with their eyes. Luckily we resolved this without any trouble. Henrich obeys and adds. Understood then, goodbye. I will report to Ms. Ellen when she arrives. Hearing this word, he panics for a moment. Who? Ellen's footsteps slowly approach. Not only that, she acts friendly in a polite way. Hello. The weather is beautiful today. I am Ellen Donishan, responsible for repairing the resonant stone. Immediately after realizing the person she will work with is Julian, she covers her mouth. Julian turns back to remind. Sir Fen, about me riding the carriage, forget it, huh? Her face right now is wondering. Why is Julian here? No, more importantly, is he avoiding me? Ellen, an absolutely unpredictable factor. It's annoying not knowing what she's thinking. The two knights seeing Julian's expression are surprised. What? Why change your mind suddenly? Is he showing authority? Did Julian realize the plan to sideline him to command my mission? Indeed, he really is someone who survived the chaotic royal court without taking sides. However, he's just an arrogant branch family member. Just because the royal family acknowledges him a bit, he looks down on nobles. I can feel their gaze from the back of my neck. Just wait and see. No one said the mage being escorted was Ellen. Although I am annoyed by this. Looking at this situation, we need to complete the mission as fast as possible. Neatly and quickly without interacting with Ellen anymore. Immediately after, he pulls the horse reins decisively. We have arrived. So this is where the resonant stone is. Truly a tiny place. Even though I traveled all the way from the capital, there was no welcome party. A stranger next to him notices. Oh, you are from the capital. Julian nods answering. That's right, hearing that he welcomes warmly. Welcome. Thank you for coming all this way. I will guide you straight to the resonant stone. This area has many resonant stones surrounding it. The container for the resonant stone is this way, and the mana conduit is here. Ellen proposes. I will handle that, I am sensitive to mana. The guide asks her. Mage, do you want to investigate the area needing repair? Yes. A giant stone block appears in front of Ellen. She touches and observes. This will be difficult to restore just by repairing. I think we will need to replace a part. Replace. Right. The barrier layer will temporarily disappear. But don't worry, it won't be long. Hearing this, he feels appreciative. We trust you, Mitch. When her hand touches the stone block, a light energy glows. Preparation complete. Now I need to inform Julian that the barrier layer will disappear during the replacement process. I don't want to see his face again, but she thinks back to the scene when meeting him. Let's just treat it as work, Ellen. You are a professor. Lord Julian. I have something to say. Before she can reply, he runs away. This annoys her. What is this? Is he avoiding me? Sir, listen first. It's important. You were silently avoiding me, right? It's not just my imagination, right? Why? No way. Does he care about me? No, probably not. But this is too much. We are here for an official mission. She speaks frankly. Say something. Why do you keep avoiding me? Julian calmly replies. When did I avoid you? It's just Miss Ellen insisting on following me. Hearing this, she blushes a bit. What is wrong with this guy? He is so bold it almost sounds true. That doesn't matter. He emphasizes. So what matters then? You stalking. Being mocked by him makes her furious. Stalking. I should have held back. Honestly. Immediately after, he notices something. There is a strange creature appearing here. A demon. Julian shouts, demon. Meanwhile, Ellen still doesn't pay attention and continues clearing her throat. I said. I tried to tell you the barrier will be gone so demons might appear. Why do you keep avoiding me? Before prepared, a powerful attack strikes past his face. Turning sideways, Lord Henzik is lying motionless on the ground. Julian sniffs and senses this aura. It is from type 1 demons. Not a hornless or one-horned demon, but a two-horned demon. Truly an unexpected variable. Ellen steps up asking him. What happened? Julian stops her in time. Stop. It's very dangerous. The demon is currently roaring insanely. She looks at them trembling. A two-horned demon. Why is such a powerful demon here? What should I do? There is no magic I can use suitable for this battle. I still can't use the resonant stone. Immediately after, it emits red sound waves calling subordinates for support. Ellen is unfortunately targeted by them. As a main character, Julian quickly slashed the monster, helping her save her life. He raises his voice at her. Focus, Ellen. Trembling like this. How humiliating. I will handle this side. So let's do our respective duties. She still doesn't understand his meaning, so asks again. Respective duties. Without giving time, he points and orders. You repair the resonant stone. And my duty is to protect you. Seeing Julian's kindness leaves her stunned for a moment. He asks, are you so scared you forgot what to do? Ellen runs off shouting, from now it will take more than 7 minutes. She calls his name again, Julian. Don't get injured. I don't have any healing magic. He replies without facing Ellen. I am hard to injure. Go. Even though I said that, but I'm terrified. I never thought my first real battle would be against a two-horned demon. Too many people are watching. I can't run away. If I run, rumors will spread. I will be suspected. If I were the real Julian, things like this would be. Immediately after, Feng comes from behind to support him. Wait, we, the Blue Lion Knights, will conquer this demon. With proficient and professional skills, he handles it very neatly. The demon also begins to weaken gradually. Alright, this type of two-horned demon can be easily handled if we weaken it. He turns to look at him. Haha, you are scared of a two-horned demon. Doesn't look like Julian. These words touched Julian's pride. Alright? No way, are you? Laughing. Painful. His face now suddenly turns from dark to excited mode. Now, I am Julian. In a life-or-death situation like this, if it were Julian, he would definitely enjoy it. Trait: natural-born swordsman. Very quickly he shows off his sword technique while flying into the air. The observing knight also has to wonder. Julian, one blow caused that much damage? Unbelievable. His face now looks no different from a bloodthirsty vampire. The sword light starts to activate power. Good. It's working. Sword light. He slashes continuous attacks towards it. The demon does not yield. It lands a hit right on Julian's abdomen. The hit causes him to take damage and cough up blood. It hurts so much I can barely breathe. Even a worm squirms when stepped on, right? If that's the case. Not stopping, the demon continues to use violent power, sending the ground flying. Everyone watching can only exclaim unbelievable. Even Julian was hit. Ah. How could I alone defeat a two-horned demon? Now, time for me to give orders. Someone in the group suddenly shouts. Look over there. Julian slowly walks out in the dusty mist. The moonlight sword in his hand is glowing brilliantly. Light, red-blue light. It's the moonlight sword. Incomplete moonlight sword activated. Julian points the sword at the demon preparing to fight. His face exudes the look of a warmonger. The demon continues to scream ferociously. It tries to hit Julian, but fails. Clumsy movements but sharp strikes. But I can see it all. Because I am Julian. Let's use this ability. Trait: insight. Immediately after, a mark with the shape of a single eye appears on Julian's eye. The blue lion knights outside still admire. He dodged everything. That is Julian of the closed eye. Back to Ellen's side, the stone fragments are gradually being restored. Above her appear brightly glowing magic circles. Alright. The barrier is about to reactivate. The demon being controlled still doesn't know what is happening. Julian happily smiles and dodges. You made a mistake. Its eyes now only see the sword tip preparing to point at its body. Julian slashes the demon with a beautifully brilliant blue diagonal line, while his eyes appear demonic. Ellen over there witnesses. And even the blue lion knights over here watching have to marvel at his terrifying power. Very quickly, he alone dispatched the monster, leaving it just a pile of fresh blood. Julian breathes steadily, regaining calm. He accidentally covers his mouth and wonders, so, it really works. This air, this dream. Julian is a villain after all. Fearing such overwhelming power is natural. A call from afar rings out to him. Lord Julian. Even holding his hand, the knight declares loudly, thank you. We thought we were going to die. As expected, Julian is different. He doesn't know how to react other than silence. I didn't expect this. Knight Fen also has to praise him. Good job, Lord Julian. Julian approaches ordering. Sir Fen, I leave reporting the situation to you. I'm not used to those things. After he leaves, Fen thinks to himself. He is different, clearly different. He far surpasses other nobles. Calm like that even after defeating a two-horned demon. He is not human. And I mean in an extraordinary way. After finishing fighting the demon, Julian approaches a river to rest. The danger passed. Fear, disgust and despair when facing demons. Real combat is crueler than I thought. The feeling of slashing a demon. Did Julian always consider this normal? Now, I also feel scared of myself acting so much like Julian. As the body changes, does the mind follow too? How strong is Julian exactly? To check, he even opens the system panel. The unlocking ability this time combined with Lee Si-ho's knowledge and Julian's experience. Trait: insight. Unique. You have perfect detailed vision, easily detecting enemy weaknesses. You sense enemy emotions more clearly. You deal extra damage to enemies fearing you. Seems like to combine into one trait used for detecting weaknesses. With this, I can easily remove suspicions around me. The problem now is the incomplete moonlight sword. He pulls the sword out to observe. I even engraved the rhythm into it. To activate the moonlight sword, I have to pour a bunch of mana in at once. Both power and stability are still inferior to the complete moonlight sword. Stability. So it's stability. I thought of a good idea. Switching to the sect of the Noble Council of Elders. Azad opens the council door preparing to enter inside. The leader orders him. Sit down. The atmosphere is somewhat tense, but he still tries to reassure himself. He asks him, Hazat, you said Julian discovered our plan. He nods, answering one sentence. Yes? It seems so. Seeing him stammering, he replies. I knew your incompetence would harm us eventually. All right. If not for the Hyon family bloodline, you would have. He hurriedly bows his head. I apologize. Lord Origin, Lord Origin, Lord Origin. Lately the closed eye is acting strangely. Heard that we approved a proposal from the Imperial Secret Office. That from now on, when the closed eye conducts experiments, instructors won't be held responsible. That's the content. It also says even if lives are lost, they will be declared innocent under the Empire's name. Hearing this, he slams his hand on the table. Isn't this speaking on Julian's behalf? Correct. That royal bastard. Who does he think he's warning? But Lord Origin, this might be an opportunity. He asks back. What opportunity? Lord Aden. What do you mean? Until now, Julian only listened to royal orders. But if he now thinks and acts for himself, therefore, then naturally, he will become a variable. Might even be more useful when we push him to the northern front. A better use for him might appear. So, for now, let's observe Julian. A member shouts. You say we should let him do whatever he wants. You. Aden smiles sinisterly. right? Currently, just observe and see. Returning to Julian, he is sitting contemplating. The mission only took a few days. But because I poured out too much mana, I'm exhausted. The orchid pots in the room shimmer strangely. Anyway, the room was redecorated to my taste so it's comfortable. He even hugs the foliage against his cheek. Orchids bring peace, even to Julian's monster body. I received more than expected from the mission. Not only did I perform well enough to dispel bad rumors, but even. He opens the chest containing items. Inside contains sparkling gems. Maybe I found a way to perfect the moonlight sword. With these gem fragments. The idea came after I saw the resonant stone. In the current Demon King world, any material can contain mana. Especially gems produced in the Empire, having the greatest conductivity and mana capacity. That is one of the reasons resonant stones are so exquisite. Relying on the concept of channeling magic power into the resonant stone. An intermediary between me and the sword. So, what if a gem could act as a mana conductor? Of course, it must be one that resonates well with my mana. I still have to find the unique suitable gem type. I concentrated too much. Is it mealtime already? Ding. Outside there is a voice calling him. Butler. Come in. It turns out to be Zajid. He came to announce some matters. Lord Julian, greetings. The commander ordered you to stop by the Imperial Secret Office to report the mission directly. He thinks to himself, Zajid, that guy appears a lot, huh? After hearing the announcement, he puts his hand on his shoulder. Then please return these gems to the warehouse. Too bad. I have to finish the moonlight sword another time. Imperial Secret Office. They are curious about my condition enough to call me there. Suspicion about losing memory hasn't been cleared yet. As he prepares to open the door to leave, the boy asks again, Lord Julian, what should we do with the broken gems? Seeing him ordering him. Throw them away. Zajid looks on with regret. Yes, oh my, such precious materials. Julian moves to the Imperial Secret Office. Unlike the closed-eye building, this place is extremely luxurious. He introduces himself to the receptionist. I'm Julian of the Closed Eye. I came to meet Lord Satan Ovian of the Secret Office. The receptionist also greets politely. Lord Satan is currently meeting a guest before you. Please wait in the lobby. Having no other choice, he can only agree. Is that so? Someone different from me. Surely someone outranking Julian. He opens the door revealing a majestic room. This is the lobby. Never saw it in the game. Truly magnificent. Noticing on the chair there is a sword making him curious. Why is it lying here? Doesn't fit this luxurious room at all. Very rough. But looking at it shows the skill of the wielder. Strong body carries strong spirit. This aura, don't tell me, don't tell me. Suddenly from behind a scream rings out. Get away from that sword immediately, traitor. That voice. I don't need to turn around to know. A blonde girl speaks strongly to him. That sword is a gift from our master. Noble daughter of a prestigious Imperial Knight family, the John Doble family. One of Haydenjik's top disciples. In the game, she died at the hands of Julian Curzay Pfeiffer Jackson. Jin John Doble, another disciple of Hayden. She could be the key to escaping this game world. She is a noble lady of the prestigious Imperial Knight family, the John Doble family. And she is also one of Haydenjik's disciples. She is talented enough to surpass Julian someday. She has both beauty and talent. Because of her obedient attitude towards the main character Haydenjik. Jin's wedding dress was very famous in the player community. She constantly ranked top in player popularity polls. Although, now I am Julian, not Haydenjik. A negative color. Hatred appears on her asking, what do you plan to do with my master's sword? I just wanted to look at it. Maybe I should tease her and extract some information from her. I didn't expect someone like you to leave a sword lying around like that, Jin snaps. Did you not even realize why? My master is not someone who recklessly carries a sword everywhere in the Imperial Palace like you. Julian thinks to himself. She went inside. I anticipated it, because she is an extremely diligent and upright person. Since she mentioned her master. The guest who came before me must be Sword Saint Haydenjik, right? He asks her but receives only a glare. And what does that have to do with you? I was just curious, you used to be my master. It's clear she has negative emotions towards Julian. But maybe I should test how negative. Hearing each sentence makes her whole body tremble. Her face gets more tense. What did you say? How dare you say something like that? Negative color, anger. I can feel intense anger, just as predicted. True, I intended to tease her. But I want to apologize on Julian's behalf. Someone entering the room interrupts their conversation. Miss Jin, please come to the secretary's office. She understands the intention and turns her back. Fine. Goodbye, Julian. I hope we never meet again. Then the man continues. They also summoned you, Lord Julian. Both stand awkwardly for a moment. I just have to act cool. Act cool like Julian. Don't be too cold to me like that, Jin. After all, we have the same master. Maybe I will meet that master soon. She glares at Julian. But not anymore. Don't you dare mention my master again. He looks at her smugly. Preparing to meet my favorite character in the form of the person who betrayed him? I'm half excited, half worried. Switching to the Imperial Secretary's office. Greetings, Miss Jin, Lord Julian. Lord Julian, we heard about your recent mission. Heard you single-handedly defeated a two-horned demon? He laughs happily in response. How? That was just enough for a warm-up. Excuse me for interrupting. Where is my master? Julian observes for a moment. I wonder the same thing. I was looking forward to this. He replies. Lord Haydenjik left after assigning you a mission. Miss Jin. What? And I think you should cooperate with her. Lord Julian. Yes. Jin disagrees. Us? Why do I have to go with this traitor? He told me to assign someone to go with you because it might be dangerous. And coincidentally Lord Julian is here. Jin looks down. Hayden, what did you do? I don't know. He assigned a mission to the two of you, investigate the capital slums. He hears and wonders. I can't do anything about the person who just left. Guess I will continue acting as Julian. Slums. Why should we care about filthy slums? So, based on some sources, demons have appeared in that area and people from the slums don't want the royal family interfering directly. That is why you two are suitable for this mission. The people linked to the royal family, but technically not royal family, because you belong to the Closed Eye and Night Academy. Slums, remnants of nations swallowed by the Empire by force. It is a place sheltering people from many different nations rejected by the Empire. And because they dislike the royal family, they sent the Closed Eye, an organization considered neutral. Makes sense. And if Jin overwhelms me in this mission, she will have an easier time achieving the title of Sword Saint. Going with Jin on a mission like this is not beneficial for me. But I am the royal family's dog. I can't refuse. Julian puts his hand to his chin, smiling with pleasure. I understand. I accept the mission. Not really. She looks at him loudly. What? I refuse. Julian calmly replies. Oh my, I wish I could refuse. But she can't. Miss Jin, your master personally requested you accept this mission. You accepted. Are you planning to go against his wishes? That matter, after thinking for a while. She also accepts. I understand. Once again, a knight bearing the title of Hayden's disciple. During the mission, she will try to monitor the traitor. But the problem is currently I don't have any power to fight back. If I can get a gem suitable for my mana. Suddenly his thoughts turn to the necklace on Jin's neck. His eyes react violently to that stone. Unable to keep calm, he hurriedly asks her. Wait, what? What gem is that? It's Moonstone. Immediately after, the stone on Jin's necklace suddenly glows, even emitting a blue electric aura. She looks at him suspiciously. What are you doing? Suddenly it lit up. How? Just that it looks so beautiful. Just for a moment, as if it tried to resonate with my mana and absorb it. Turns out the answer was so close to me all along. I need this gem. Switching to the shop employee, he welcomes him. Lord Julian, long time no see. Do you need anything? He asks. I am looking for a gem suitable for my mana. Give Moonstone. Moonstone. Our shop doesn't have Moonstone, and I'm sure other shops are the same, aside from collectors. No one has a demand for it, and it's very hard to mine, so we don't import it. Hearing this makes him somewhat stressed. I need to perfect the moonlight sword before the mission with Jin. So you mean, I can't get it? I accidentally spoke to Lord Julian like I talk to other customers. I need to protect my life. The employee tremblingly replies, it's not like that. We can look for it. But currently we don't have it. Thank goodness, if that's the case, go find it. I need them very much. He nods. I will search across the empire. Oh my. Miss Jin will definitely notice the moonlight sword is unfinished. I need to have Moonstone as a precaution. And the day of the mission arrived. I couldn't get the Moonstone. Maybe I didn't threaten enough. Jin waits outside for him to finish shopping, then wonders. Your important business was at a jewelry store. How? One day you will realize, Jin. The beauty of gems. Whatever. Just follow me, Julian teases her. Jin, wrong way. The slums are riddled with illegally built buildings and alleys. You can't blindly follow maps and signs. Knowing this is because he is a nerd eager to show off his knowledge about a game. She refuses bluntly. I'd rather follow the signs than follow you. She is right. But the eastern slums. That place is like a wall of death for newbies. Even the developer admitted it's a hellish map. It really is difficult to pass through. She added, I won't fall for your traps. I'm sure a traitor like you would try to trick me. The current disciple of the Sword Saint. But I am different from you, Julian. I will become the new Sword Saint. Hearing this, Julian felt a bit awkward. I think she misunderstood. This mission won't be easy. Both of you just ask each other on the way. You really intend to go this way? The signposts aren't there for nothing. She asked him from the start. Lord Julian, have you ever been to the slums? He was wondering. Lexi Ho had been here, but Ian never had. How should I answer? What do you think? Avoiding the question. So how do you plan to find the way? Instinct. Probably. Being teased by him made her furious. So let's split up. Julian ran while trying to reconcile. Oh my, the royal family said we should act together. Or is the Hayden Zik family more important than the royal family? Jin warned, I forbid you from speaking my master's name with that mouth. If you have any self-respect left. I know. Ian is far beyond me. I don't know how many times I've heard others compare me to him behind my back. If it were him, he could do it. If it were him, it would be obvious if it were him. But I am the eldest disciple of the Sword Saint. Through this mission, I will show the difference. After searching for a while, she was stunned. The sign had a confusing string of numbers. 011C. Impossible. Julian mischievously asked her, is something wrong? Jin only reacted by replying, no, nothing. As that traitor said, the path is completely messed up. This is back to where we started. We're back at the old spot, aren't we? Hey, miss. Suddenly, a ragged man approached and asked, you've been walking in circles. It looks like it's your first time here. Jin asked, you know the way around here. Of course. I can guide you if you want. But it's not free. The fee is a bottle of wine. Okay, fine. No problem. My name is Ba Den. And you are? I am Zinzan Dobel. So it's from the Zinzan Dobel family. Well, caught a big fish. Julian was about to answer. Something is strange. Before he could answer, the man interrupted. I'm not interested in men, just follow me. Ba-den, I feel like I've heard that name somewhere, but I can't remember. Seems he isn't an important character. He banged on the door and shouted, Owner, get me and these people something to drink. So he plans to drink before guiding us. The bartender asked, Where are you folks from? Jin replied, From the capital. The bartender retorted, Is that so? Then 30 na per person. Hearing 30 na, she froze. Not stopping there, Ba-den added, It's okay, prices here are very expensive. Jin reacted awkwardly, No, it's not that. It's too cheap. Is it really only 30 na? As expected of a noble daughter, this is a golden opportunity. Inside, he plotted with the bartender. Owner, give them the special kind, the strong stuff. When these royal dogs are drunk, I'll wring their necks. All right. They intentionally put sleeping drugs in the water glasses of the two. Here it is. Let's drink. The best drink in the slums. Just as Jin prepared to take a sip, Julian stopped her in time. He held up the beer mug. Wait for me. Did you tamper with this drink? He shouted loudly. What are you saying? Not letting him make excuses, he ordered, Then drink it. Or do I have to feed it to you myself? Seeing him causing trouble, Jin ordered him to stop. Julian. Hearing the name Julian, they remembered. The owner asked, Hey, Ba-den, did you just bring Ian's royal dog here? What should we do? It's fine. I always have backup behind the shop. Only the strongest monsters of the slums are here. He slowly pulled a weapon from his body, and I'm quite skilled at this too. Julian also began to prepare to take them down. Time for talk is over. Are we going to fight? One by one, his men were subdued by him. No matter how numerous they were, they couldn't match Julian. Jin watched and wondered, What the hell is this? The slum dwellers began to tremble, subdued by one man. Julian looked at them with a deadly glare. I don't know what you plan to do, but I don't want to cause more chaos than this. He even used a knife to threaten Ba-den. Is everyone here your people? He asked him. Sir Ba-den, why did you stop? Go on. Tell your companions to sit down if they don't withdraw their killing intent. Let them know they'll end up like this broken glass. Being threatened, his whole body exuded extreme fear. He had to give in and obey. Didn't you hear what Lord Julian said? Back off immediately. His men could only click their tongues and comply. Cooperative. If you answer a few of my questions, I'll ensure you leave here safely. I suggest leaving instead of dying. Sir Ba-den. What will you choose? When threatened, he acted obediently. I surrender. I'll do it. Julian spoke to Jin. He was suspicious from the moment he wanted to guide us. Who would have thought it would lead to a criminal organization in the slums? He cheerfully boasted. I thought he was just a stingy thug. But things turned out quite productive. I got some information. Jin walked gloomily. It's my fault for not realizing it sooner. Julian didn't seem to mind. Well, of course, Lady Jin, someone like you has surely never met people like that in your life. Oh my, are you losing confidence? She asked him. How did you know? How did you know Ba-den poisoned the drink? He looked at her meaningfully. Is that what you're wondering? Yes, please tell me. Thinking and learning even from someone she hates, valuing personal growth over temporary shame. Truly's inzondable. But it would be better if she didn't act hostile in front of me. He explained, I sense killing intent in the cup. Actually, I sense killing intent before even entering the tavern. It's like having a mana detection trait. She was bewildered. Mana detection trait, he continued. Fear. Beings, objects, situations, everything naturally possesses mana. And mana reacts strongly to other emotions. Before I stepped into the bar, I used mana to detect hostile mana. Jin compared, like a bat's radar. Well, you could say that. That is a skill commonly used by mages, but thanks to Julian's overflowing mana, detection became easy. I have a question. Julian turned to listen. You didn't ask Ba-den about the demons, but about the living conditions in the slums. Right. We didn't come here to investigate who lives here, but to investigate if there are demons here, right? Normally, that would be the reason. He asked, how much do you know about demonification? Jin answered based on her knowledge. Remnants of the demon king Barbados will take over the life of anything non-human. Yes. And turn them into demons. Isn't that the meaning of demonification? Normally that is true, but the geography of the slums isn't it normal? The capital near the slums is covered by resonance stones. No demon can enter. They can't even step foot inside. There's a forest next to it, so there are no animals, only humans. So the only remaining host are humans. Is that what you mean, right? This is exactly what happened in the game. Yes, I believe humans here are being demonized. Listening to Julian's explanation gave her a headache. I was stupid to trust you, even for a moment. House number 3. That's the house number that took fever medicine from the green market this week. They say high fever is a sign of demonification, right? If I'm wrong, I will follow your request. Lady Jin. She began to think. What should I do? Should I listen to these empty words? Switching scenes to the slums. They talked as they walked. Now, there's only one house left. You look satisfied. What Julian said, human demonification. If we haven't seen it, isn't that a good thing? I think so too. Then this is the last house. I also hope it's true. They didn't hesitate to knock. Is no one home? From inside appeared an old man with bloodshot eyes. Who is it? Julian was surprised. What the hell? Not demonized yet. But how are you today? This color representing injustice, is he hiding something? Moreover, the smell I smelled during the mission to bring back resonant stones. He realized. It's the smell of demon blood. Hello. We are from the royal court. I am Julian of the One-Eyed family. Hearing the name One-Eyed and Julian, his face turned pale. Get out. Get out of my house immediately. Not letting things be interrupted, he held the door bar, then opened it forcefully, surprising Jin. Thank you for your cooperation, Jin reminded Julian. At least explain what is happening. You are a bit too kind, Lady Jin. What do you mean? One day, that kindness will exhaust you. We came here to investigate, not to hunt. Do you really think the Empire will like this forcefulness? The Empire only needs results, Lady Jin. What? That? Are you in the middle of a meal? According to household data, you live with your son. Yet, there is food for 3 people. The old man quickly explained. I have a guest. He picked up the spoon and stirred. This soup is a bit too red. So you didn't just come for fever medicine. You put sedatives in the soup to treat the guest and turn the guest into food. For the demon behind that door, right? While Jin still didn't understand what was happening, the old man hurriedly ran towards the door. Run, my son, now. Then his hand fumbled to unlock it. When he opened it calling his son's name, in front of him was a monster with jagged teeth. Very quickly, the monster tore him apart in front of the two. Right now, its whole body splattered with blood, and it let out a howl. Jin quickly got into stance. A demon. Did it really demonize a human host? I need to take it down first. Its eyes noticed her. Jin was careless, and unfortunately got hit by the demon's attack. He looked at her weapon. That sword, could this be Zinzan Dobel before she awakened in the plot? That's why she asked about mana earlier. At this rate, Lady Jin will be in danger. In that case, he will. He remembered her objection. I don't need help, not needed. Don't need help. This is part of my mission. Thinking that, he drew the moonlight sword to enter combat stance. And I can't let the disciple the sword saying is proud of get hurt. It would be better if I didn't get involved in unnecessary rumors. The problem is the moonlight sword isn't finished yet. I don't want Jin to suspect for no reason. Julian declared, I will defeat it with a completely different method. Hello. He opened the trait, clairvoyance, activated. The demon also began to attack. Both rushed at each other, fighting a fierce life and death battle. I hit it with a critical blow. If this continues, Jin rushed in, the sword in her hand glowing, confronting the demon directly. Julian observed her struggling and saw danger. Damn it, it recovered already. Miss Jin, please create a small opening, I will attack again. Yes. Jin gritted her teeth, using strength to counter the momentum. Her eyes glanced at the unusually red soup bowl on the table. An idea flashed like lightning. She gripped the hot porcelain bowl, then quickly threw it at the demon's face. Take this. The hot soup splashing unexpectedly caused it intense pain. The demon began to lose patience. Angrily, it used its bare hands to grab Jin's whole body and squeeze tight. The pain made her cough up blood. Damn, it found me by scent. I was too arrogant. I couldn't even create an opening. I have no face to meet Master in the afterlife. The moment the demon intended to finish her off, Julian from behind shouted in time, Lady Jin. She turned back, eyes wide with surprise. Julian, are you planning to? Julian burned, surrounded by the blue light of the system like a ghostly flame. You did well. The demon seemed to sense danger, turning its head to look around. A blue electric current surrounded its giant body, making sizzling sounds. He rushed towards the demon madly, then used the sword to pierce through its body, causing blood to spray everywhere. The pain forced it to release Jin. After escaping the demon's hand, she took the opportunity to kick it hard in the face. Both coordinated very well. Julian showed joy seeing that. After dying, the demon lay motionless on the floor in front of the two witnesses. Jin asked him, I didn't expect you to pierce through the demon without even using the moonlight sword. How? Julian looked and only gave a savage smile. Well, let's just say it wasn't even worth using the moonlight sword. Seeing is believing, right? After completing the mission, they returned. We arrived at the royal palace. Don't know how, but we finished this mission safely. Lady Jin didn't become suspicious. What a relief. She bowed her head and told him, the payment for this mission is all yours. I didn't contribute anything anyway. But in his thoughts, she didn't deserve that. For someone arrogant like Lady Jin, owing a debt to Julian is rare. But don't say that, Lady Jin. Although it's true you were helpless against that demon for Julian, just hearing pleasing words isn't enough. Her eyes showed annoyance. I don't like you. Jin rested her chin on her hand and recounted, previously. My master always told me that with great power comes great responsibility. Your defeating that demon was impressive, but witnessing you use your power indiscriminately to hit innocent people. Now I can understand why master kicked you out. You don't know restraint. Hearing these words, Julian laughed softly. Restraint, huh? That is a weapon for cowards. She got angry and asked, are you saying master is a coward to you? He tensed up and reminded, Lady Jin, I am not some high-ranking noble. I am not a purebred noble who has to live with restraint. Lady Jin, you need to understand that such people exist in this world. What do you mean by that? Whatever. You did well. Thank you for giving up your share of the reward for this mission. Thank you. The more she looked at him, the more she wondered. He is truly hard to understand. Continue. Restraint is not only a quality of a noble, but of every knight. Suddenly a man in a carriage passed by. It was Uncle Ergen, her acquaintance. He asked, you look tired. Get on the carriage, I'll take you back to the mansion. She nodded politely and accepted. Yes. Hello. The carriage continued moving. The two talked. He started. That mission must have been tough. Did everything go smoothly? Jin replied, thank you, Uncle. Uncle Ergen, thanks. By the way, the person with you, before he could finish, she answered, that's Julian of the one-eyed family. I thought so. A very strange face. The Council of Elders is on the verge of collapse recently because of his actions. Rumor has it he directly pressured the council through the royal family. I see. He sighed for a while, pressuring the entire council. We are all nobles. Yet it's like this, truly a side branch. Jin recalled Julian's words. So that's what he meant. Lady Jin, I am not some high-ranking noble. I am not a purebred noble who has to live with restraint. He warned, stay away from him. That man is very dangerous. Whatever is said. He managed to secure a spot as Hayden's disciple. Perhaps he isn't as talented as we think. Hearing this, she objected. That's not true. Uncle. Whatever else, he is truly talented. He is very strong. Switching scenes to the commander's mansion, she asked him, Julian, what exactly? What did you do? Julian only asked back. What do you mean asking what I did? What is it? Don't tell me. Someone demanded compensation from the tavern. The slum dwellers complained because they were scared. I got too immersed and caused too much trouble. There are too many reasons for me to be arrested. The commander just gave a judgmental look and remained silent. She announced, a criminal named Baden, whom One-Eyed was tracking, surrendered. When asked why, he only trembled and said your name. The mission was supposedly just to confirm demon sightings. Mentioning this made him relieved. Phew, so it's about Baden. He realized his crimes too late. I didn't know anything. Don't know why he mentioned my name. Right, you surely pulled some trick. Whatever. Check the mission payment and report back to me. Mission payment means I have money, right? Just when I'm out of money. Wonder how much I'll get, a servant interrupted to announce. Lord Julian, the jeweler contacted us. Julian found it strange. Really? The amount of Na we currently have isn't enough to buy a batch of moonstones. Of course. Julian doesn't know what saving implies. He checked the paper. Can I cover the deficit? Let's see. Try. 11,000 Na. Na is probably equivalent to dollars. So. What? This is about $15,000 then. Even though Lady Jin gave up her share, earning this much in just 2 missions. Impressive. Commander O'Quinn shook her head. Well, can't be helped. This is definitely less than usual since you took too much leave due to injury. What? This is considered little. Even for a game character. His financial sense is weird to the point of disbelief. Commander O'Quinn. Wait a minute. Maintenance and registration fees were deducted. Fine, Julian likes art anyway. A moment later he noticed the text. What is this? Installment again. What in the world? Final payment, 900 Na. Only that much left. So, Julian is the financially crazy one. This is bad. We need a lot of Na to buy moonstones, and Julian doesn't even have any savings. He asked, Commander O'Quinn, do you have any more missions coming up? The commander was surprised. This is the first time you've been proactive. Are you short on money? Unfortunately, no. I'll let you know when there are. That's why I told you not to buy luxury items beyond your means. And you completely ignored that advice, right? In his thoughts, he also blamed Julian a lot. If I had bought them myself, I wouldn't be this annoyed. Yes, she said bluntly, if you sell that pile of luxury items to an art gallery, you could buy a whole castle. Hearing this gave him an idea. He turned back to tell her, exactly, I just need to sell it all. The commander looked at him with questions in her head. You're truly crazy. On another side, council members were discussing. That monster defeated a demon without using the moonlight sword. He is as dangerous as a wild horse. Council Elder Noble Ergen. I understand. Council Elder Noble Hayden. A person nearby asked, Lord Hayden, I came to escort you. He replied, I still have things to discuss with my subordinate. So the Council of Elders has no goodwill towards Julian. Julian defeated a demon in the recent mission without even needing the moonlight sword. He is truly a monster. The servant added, then may I carry out your previous order? Hayden pointed at the boy and answered, do it. I will recruit that monster and turn him into part of my power. Switching scenes to the Edith Godman Art Gallery. Julian observed for a while. I thought I should strike while the iron is hot, so I came to the gallery. But I'm not sure if it will sell well. Suddenly a gentleman from behind approached him. Welcome, Lord Julian. He introduced himself as Fajitso, the appraiser of Edith Godman. Julian happily shook hands. Thank you for taking the time to appraise so quickly. Not at all. It's an honor to serve the famous one-eyed Julian. When they reached the covered item, he asked, is this the piece to be appraised? Julian pulled the cloth off to reveal a painting drawn with warm, eye-catching colors. He pulled out a magnifying glass to examine details based on the special technique. It seems this is a work by Ms. Ruth Vincent, or at least his style. After observing for a while, he concluded it was a fake. Julian heard this, and his face froze. Then in his thoughts, he blamed the bastard Julian. Julian, you have no eye for art. Should I buy something else? It was hanging at the entrance of the mansion. So I thought it must be a masterpiece. Carrying a fake around like this, your reputation hit rock bottom, Julian. Have to accept it. The man added, I've never seen a fake made so sophisticatedly, indeed. Surprisingly, he added, I want to buy it. Even though it's a fake, its condition is very good. Can I buy it for 1,000 Na? Julian thought he was just pitying him. But 1,000 Na still wasn't enough to buy all the moonstones. I will go prepare the contract. Please please feel free to view other works while waiting. Suddenly Ellen stood up next to him. Selling it at that price. Is that really okay? That painting is definitely an original, right? Julian was surprised to see her. Miss Ellen, what are you doing here? And what do you mean original? She explained, my cousin has some works displayed here. But ignore that. Her eyes sharpened for a moment. In the Empire, no artist can use oil paint this skillfully. And this signature in the corner. That is definitely Ms. Desude's signature. All three looked at the painting for a while. The man looked in feigned ignorance. Unbelievable. I missed this signature. Julian asked him. So that means, you deceived me, right, appraiser? His face scared the man so much he fell to the floor. Just as Julian prepared to strike, Ellen stopped him in time. Julian, stop. Appraisals can have errors. Humans make mistakes too. He thought to himself. I lost my cool and ended up threatening him. Almost drew my sword to slash him. With so many witnesses, I can't handle the consequences. He tried to act normal again. Alright, overreacting makes me look like a villain. Even worse. Julian intimidated him. So if it's real, will the price change? He knelt down begging. I am truly sorry. If this is truly an original, my gallery doesn't have enough money to buy it. Even combining all the gallery's assets wouldn't be enough. Hearing that, he placed a hand on his shoulder. In life, incompetence sometimes holds you back. Even so, I'm stuck. What should I do with this painting? Ellen spoke up. I will help. You will help me. Ellen just nodded and said yes. Stop. I know someone who will buy any of Ms. Desude's paintings without asking questions. Only one person, Desude. Julian showed interest upon hearing this. Ellen continued, but there are two conditions. You must not punish the appraiser. Julian nodded upon hearing that. And there is something I need your help with. It's something only you can do. Fine. I don't have any missions currently anyway. A moment later, she shook his hand in surprise. Deal. Don't misunderstand. I'm not purely helping you out of kindness. You helped me once, back in the Zunlin district. I'm not the type to leave debts unpaid. Now it's my turn to pay back. What exactly do you need me to do? Ellen told the whole story like this. When guards patrol at night, they are always attacked by ghosts. Julian found it hard to believe. A patrol guard attacked by a ghost. Ellen was also half believing. The ghost story is probably a rumor made up by students. The hallway of the old building of Bayer Academy. The administration initially didn't pay much attention. Strange noises echoed in the old building around midnight, and more guards were injured by attacks. If not a ghost, then what is it? I think it's a demon. A demon in the academy. Yes, the academy is supposed to be strictly protected from demons. But I think one slipped in through a weakened resonant stone barrier. Recently things have been uneasy, and fewer people stand guard. I want to handle it myself. But it's not easy, and I was very hesitant. While the two were talking, someone interrupted. So ultimately you still have to rely on others. Nice to meet you here, Sir Johan. This is a professor at Bayer Hergoffit's academy. Ellen and he looked at each other with daggers in their eyes. Don't you see I'm here? Would it kill you to say hello? We aren't close enough to need greetings, yet you call a busy person to handle this. We are doing this to ensure student safety. Sir Julian is very good at demon extermination. If you want to remove the side branch label, shouldn't you try harder? The one who needs to try harder is you, Sir Haughty. You almost failed your essay last time. Instead of wasting time here, shouldn't you be writing another paper? What? HMPH, side branch bitch. Truly someone who doesn't know their place. What did you say? Both continued arguing. To the point Julian got annoyed and intervened. Julian drew his sword. Is he angry because the side branch was insulted? Or is it because of me? Wait. Without an explanation, he coldly swung his sword forward, causing them to panic. Seeing this, Ellen closed her eyes. Haughty was no exception. Moments later, a crack fell bit by bit. Both looked and were startled. The demon. It was hiding in the wall behind. Julian quickly advanced and swung a blow at the demon. The previously mocking Haughty now lay holding his head on the ground. Help me. There's a demon on my back. He turned to look beside him. A swarm of many demons appeared. Julian smirked. Demons attack without mercy, whether main branch or side branch. If you want to live, you'd better beg a side branch person to spare your life. You're overacting. Ellen noticed something. She pointed upwards. Look, those many demons are merging together. Then they are gradually becoming a larger entity. In front of Ellen and Hattie's witnessing, the demons combined into a hideous sharp-toothed demon. Julian pointed his sword at it, so that represents its true form. The way weaklings gather and tremble before the strong. Despicable. The demon hesitated for a moment, then quickly rushed towards Julian to attack. But luckily, Julian fought very proficiently now. He dodged all its attacks lightly. Seeing an opening, he swung his sword hard at its face. The demon in pain could only hold its face and endure. In this situation, need to attack quickly. To finish with the final blow, he used a special technique, then quickly sliced it into a pile of mess. Regarding Ellen, she was meticulously repairing the wall spots. She asked, "How did you know a demon was hiding here?" Julian just replied, "That's my secret." But inside he thought, "I felt a warm aura from Lord Hayden's records, but I can't say that. Does anyone here understand the game system? Leave that for later. Even you used to look down on the side branch before. So, why act for them now? I look down on them? Wait, did you forget the words you once said? You once called me an Osina Ankoma half-breed. You said that to me, someone who only madly pursues power. Now you suddenly speak up to protect me. Strange. You're no different from Julian back at the academy. Still that half-hearted righteousness. Everyone is just scared of you, so no one dares to mention your hostile attitude towards outsiders. Whether main or side, blood flows the same. Back then, I was wrong to say those words. Hearing this, Ellen blushed unconsciously. Wait, did you just apologize? But it didn't sound much like an apology. Right, anyway, thank you. For what? For handling the matter just now for me. It was nothing. Phew, done. You did well. Now that you've exterminated the demons, let me introduce you to the painting buyer. True to promise, he sat talking with the guest Ellen introduced. He rejoiced. To admire this work before dying is truly satisfying. How is it? How do you perceive Ms. Desude's final work? The Red Vineyard. A wheat field blown by storm winds in a gloomy sky. This person is the vice principal of Bayer Academy, Alamchoni. He described. Black crows flying low towards the horizon. Julian watched and pondered. Seems this person understands art. To me, every painting looks the same. Behind the field are endless roads. Of course, I don't know where they lead. A very profound interpretation. This painting radiates loneliness. It conveys the artist's sadness sent to her younger brother, who supported her financially a lot. She sent the painting with a letter, opening with the line, I pour my soul and sadness into this work. Everything is connected, right? He took a sip of tea and replied, That's right. Suddenly he showed doubt at his words. Julian detected the color of suspicion. Suddenly he doubts me. What's wrong? Is something wrong with the painting? No, that's not it. Based on Miss Ellen and the vice principal's reaction, this painting is definitely genuine. So, what is he suspicious of? Julian looked and could only show a confused face. A moment later, he called him, Sir Julian. Yes? Do you truly understand the value of this painting? Frankly, I feel you only sought me out because you need funds. I can pay a suitable price and buy it immediately, but I want to deal with someone who appreciates it. He sighed. So, this is the reason. If so, perhaps even if we agree, I won't sell for a high price. This work is rumored to be the artist's final masterpiece, right? If true, Ms. Desude passed away not long after completing it, so the value is pushed even higher, right? Hearing this, he laughed for a while. You are correct. Ms. Desude passed away right at the location in the painting. It seems you possess keen artistic insight. I misunderstood you, Sir Julian. Both exchanged words. You flatter me. So, can we discuss the price? Yes, certainly, phew. He agreed to the deal. What do you think of this level? 40,000 na. Should we negotiate a bit more? This work opened the peak period after the artist's death. I believe you understand its true value. So I will add another 100,000 na. 500,000 na. I believe that exceeds expectations. 500,000 na. Not thousands, but hundreds of thousands. If na equals dollars, that's about 500 million won. This painting is worth 500 million. Seeing him pondering, he asked, Sir Julian. Julian replied, Since you realized its value. Good, let's proceed with the transaction. That guy said the gallery selling all its assets couldn't afford it. Now I understand why. With this price, who could afford it? Switching scene to Ellen, she knocked and called. Vice Principal Alum, you called me. Professor Ellen, please sit. Speaking of the incident at the old building, she quickly replied, Yes, handled smoothly. I was very worried. Knowing that now puts me at ease. Were there any obstacles? Nothing significant. Is that so? Sorry for letting you deal with this trouble. What I'm about to say must be kept between us, Professor Ellen. It's very likely this incident was caused by the Dawn Society. She heard and was surprised. Dawn Society. Why did they target the academy? I'm not clear on the reason, but there are many indirect signs. It seems they exploited the weak and resonant stone to act. We decided to keep it secret so students wouldn't panic. Ellen slowly picked up the teacup to enjoy. A demon-worshipping group just appeared in the Empire, the Dawn Society. Why attack the academy? The vice principal reassured, Anyway, don't worry too much, Ellen. We increase protection and will do everything to keep students safe. We solved this thanks to Sir Julian, right? Hearing Julian, her eyes widened. Sir Ian. Come to think of it, have you met him yet? Thanks to him we possess a priceless masterpiece. I wanted to thank him for exterminating the demon, but it seems he's gone. Yes, he left immediately after receiving the money. Seemed he went to buy a lot of gems. Moonstones, I think. Hearing him mention this, Ellen couldn't help but choke on her tea. Moonstones. I have business, must go now. Seeing her rush off, he sighed. Everyone is busy. Oi. Ellen arrived at the stone shop only to see the staff bowing. Sorry. I hope there is still enough stock. Sir Julian bought more than I thought. So, when will new ones? This time it will likely take a long time. Ellen was mentally shocked. No, I need that stone for my thesis. Go. Seeing the stone sold out, she didn't know what to do but cry loudly. Switching scenes to Julian, he was discussing with the blacksmith. He asked him, Basically you want me to forge a sword from this gem? Exactly. Blacksmith, illusory flame difficult? Can you create a sword radiating silver light? This isn't a normal sword. It's a high-end art piece. My self-respect doesn't accept creating items like that. I want to order that item specifically for combat. He continually objected. Absolutely not. That object is purely expensive jewelry. You brought this design drawing here. This thing isn't worthy of being called a weapon. If you want luxury, find another place. Our Black Flame Forge only forges weapons for knights. Only masterpieces like Hayden Zick's sword, whom I once admired, are truly worthy of being forged here. Julian replied, I want to engrave mana circuits into this blade to increase its combat capability. However, embedding a moonstone into the core of the blade is a thoughtless act, unacceptable. No one fights with a gem-encrusted sword where the sword itself is weaker than the gem. Very common. Sir Julian, I truly apologize, however. We only create weapons worthy of the forge's reputation. All swords here are engraved with our forge's unique mark. If the sword you want made shatters easily, then the forge's prestige will vanish with it. He thought to himself, HMPH, so annoying. I really hope it's forged here, because this place birthed Hayden Zick's sword. In that case, I'll bet on it. Finally, he made up his mind. I understand. Then I guarantee the sword made as requested won't break. What? Do you really believe you can do that? Yes, because I am Julian. If you don't believe, test me. Saying that, he placed a large bag on the table. Forge the sword according to my wish first. I also declare I will pay higher than the usual fee for making this sword. If the sword breaks during testing, I won't ask for the money or the stone back. He thought, is this money making him overconfident? Fine, if the sword breaks during testing, consider it never happened. We won't be responsible. Switching scenes to a few days later, the sword was finally forged. Here it is. The most talented blacksmiths worked tirelessly day and night for the sword. We went through countless failures to complete it. He asked him, Sir Julian, you really intend to use it as a combat weapon? Perfect swordsmanship, activate. Of course, now, let's start the test, right? Julian went outside looking at the sky. Quite a crowd here. The person in charge asked him, everyone wants to witness you test the sword. If you dislike it, should we ask them to leave? Not necessary, sir. Hey Julian, here. Armor specially made for today's test, here. This isn't normal armor. Armor 1 centimeter thick, almost a block of pure steel. This armor is also made from a special iron. If testing the sword, do it properly. Come on, try slashing through this. Julian laughed gleefully. Haha, you prepared thoroughly. Of course, a target too easy for the sword wouldn't be interesting. Is that the rumored sword? But even activating moonlight swordsmanship, the sword's structure won't withstand the impact. It feels completely different from last time. Like this, the sword has found its own path. His eyes directed towards the sword. Very quickly, its attack force swept the ground violently. No, impossible. How? Combining surging mana into the blade and spinning mana continuously around the blade creates unexpected power. So this is the feeling of true moonlight sword. Didn't even need to use full strength. The armor created by our forge was destroyed completely. A light appeared before Julian's eyes. An image like a pyramid appeared. The incomplete moonlight sword attribute now upgraded to moonlight sword. A new ability was activated. I poured huge internal energy into it, yet not a scratch. He raised the sword high, accumulating massive energy. Definitely the perfect moonlight sword. Finally achieved the goal. It seems I underestimated you. The blacksmith coughed. But sometimes reality speaks louder than 1,000 words. As he prepared to leave, the man reminded, however, engrave this. If that blade breaks, my reputation vanishes too. Use it with that mindset. Alright, I will use it effectively. Someone stood watching the mess just now. He observed for a while, then exclaimed, armor crafted from dark flame, yet cut so easily. Was it Julian? Hayden raised doubts. Did he come here? Jin also wondered. Julian came here before. But now I don't see traces of Julian. He is truly extraordinary. A swordsman with an aura purely for cutting. I also wish to see him split this armor. What a pity. May I ask? What is wrong, master? Are you wondering about Julian? I was just. Right, you recently cooperated on a mission. How is he? Jin heard the question and had to admit, he is truly strong. Before she stopped, he asked again, but more importantly, did you sense anything unusual from him? Feel he is a bit strange? She asked, What do you mean? I mean, does he belong to the Dawn Society? Switching to Julian, he was leisurely walking at night. In his thoughts he felt, I find myself becoming more and more like Julian, but I can't forget my purpose, returning to the original world. I can't live under the identity of Julian forever. Want to return to the original world. The world must end, in other words, the game must end, or must stop the resurrection of the Demon King. I can't stay Julian forever. I must stop. What part of the story is this but currently? Seems this is the phase where the Dawn Society appears. A dark force will use any means to resurrect Demon King Barbados, the sworn enemy of Hayden Zick and Zinzon Dobel, especially for Zinzon Dobel. Her father was killed by the Dawn Society. I want to cooperate with Phase to Hayden, but it's not easy, definitely difficult. In such a situation, like the original Julian, should I infiltrate the Dawn Society to get news? But how to infiltrate? Wait. Attribute, transcendental senses suddenly activated. Julian signaled alert. Who is it? Or just imagination? No, my ability clearly activated. I don't know who you are, but I recognize your mana. Get out. Suddenly footsteps appeared right in front of Julian. His face currently could only smile to pass it off. Appearing before him were the hooded figures looking very suspicious. I remember you are a sorceress using dark magic at an extremely high level. Eleanor D. Michelle, Bishop of the Dawn Society. I also roughly guess who the man standing next to you is. Archenemy of Hayden Zick. Long time no see. Eleanor. You too, sir. Not hiding from you. She gently removed the hood. I covered up like this and still got recognized. You are truly sharp. Julian looked and understood the intention. You even guessed my purpose for coming here. If you clearly understand my intention, then things will be faster, right? I would appreciate it if you give me an answer soon. Actually, I know nothing, just joking. Typical Julian style sentence. But I want to think about this a bit more. She objected. That won't do. Julian, it was you who approached the Dawn Society and made that offer, right? You expressed desire to join the Dawn Society. Hearing the sentence, his face turned purple. Didn't expect he reached that far. Damn, Julian. Fixing the consequences you caused has become my daily habit. Anyway, according to the script, Julian must lose to Hayden first. Then because of craving demon power, finally joins the Dawn Society. But that doesn't necessarily have to happen right now. He asked her. Wanting to join has no deadline, does it? She replied. Correct, but you should know we can interpret it differently. What if you use that offer to join as bait to trap us? Is there a possibility you are setting a trap for us? Because you are the Empire's hunting dog, Julian. Julian felt a bit resentful inside. Damn, they suspect me. But I didn't come to investigate the Dawn Society. I really want to join. If the Empire finds out, I'm done, and that path leads to the worst ending for me. If Hayden knows I join the Dawn Society, whether he kills me or I kill him, it's all a disaster. I might be stuck in this game world forever. Cornered, Julian thought. How to escape this situation? I didn't expect to be suspected so much. She continued. You know too much. If you want to withdraw now. He asked. If I do that, then what? Then it means I won't let you leave peacefully. A Monsignor combat unit of the Society far exceeds ordinary knights. The guy next to her pulled off his hood. He revealed dark skin along with a scar on his face. You should decide quickly, otherwise Felico the Iron Arm will crush you. Do you remember this scar? The scar you gave me still throbs. He thought in his head, Julian again. I'm getting tired of the trouble you cause. Turns out you and I have met. Sorry, I don't care to remember nameless nobodies. The dark-skinned guy heard that and laughed excitedly. Her. Dare to talk big acting like you're so good. You will invite disaster. Let's see how long you keep that calm look. Right after, he activated the trait, natural-born swordsman for defense. Damn, I grabbed the old iron bar instead of the moonlight sword. My memory is truly clumsy. Now just need to hold out as long as possible. Both confronted each other for a tense moment. No, too dangerous. I must retreat first. The dark-skinned guy still refused to yield. He prepared the next stage. His attacks were strong enough to send rocks on the ground flying. Julian got hit and groaned. He laughed loudly, provoking. How does it feel to be defeated by a nobody, Julian? Why do I have to endure these things? I'm too tired of taking the blame for things I didn't do. Oh, you still have strength to move. Wait, Felico, something is wrong. Be careful. Julian's emotions are exploding to the peak. Honestly, you are truly a complex element. Unique trait, Eye of Awakening activated. Julian's whole body now looked full of resentment. The dark-skinned guy looked and gritted his teeth. His aura changed. What is that sword? I will destroy that sword. But before he could act, he was slashed by him, taking damage. Before he could react, blood splashed on his face. My hand. Not noticing, he looked down at his hand which had started bleeding. Julian seized the opportunity and pressed forward. He madly raised his fist forward. How dare you? However, everything was useless. Julian looked no different from a bloodthirsty beast. He slashed consecutively at his body, making him scream loudly. Stay away from me. I said stay away from me. Very quickly, Julian slashed a deep line into his ribs. The dark-skinned guy could only hold the wound and go mad. Is this Julian's true power? He is a monster. Blood, the sensation of blade cutting through flesh. A face of pure terror. Julian held his face and asked himself. What is this? I'm starting to feel pleasure. Open eyes can only be used by those with fox eyes. This skill only activates when emotions surge to the extreme. It amplifies physical strength and expands vision. He was so exhausted he begged. Please stop. He didn't want to. He gave a grotesque smile, then moved the sword back, right? The sword tip pierced deep into the chest, causing him to cough blood. That nickname Iron Arm of yours sounds ridiculous. Not stopping, Julian grabbed his head. He begged him. Don't kill me. In his eyes now, Julian was no different from a powerful wild beast. His teammate spoke up in time. Enough. Don't you think that's enough? At this moment, Julian's face suddenly became calm again. The open eyes skill wore off. He looked at the guy he just handled with some wonder. Did I really do that? What did I just do? Those with fox eyes often change personality when opening eyes. But this ability. Julian's belligerent nature erupts when using it. This ability is truly dangerous. You started it first. It's true Felico was a bit insolent. You clearly knew everything, but did nothing. I also let you beat him, didn't I? He asked himself. What magic is this? My body can't move. Right after, she whispered in Julian's ear. But after that fight, I have a different view of you. How about we cooperate? By the way, this woman has the trait seductive mole. Easily loved by others. You lose nothing. He put a hand on her shoulder and replied. You have a point, but I still want to think a bit more. My ability still has no effect on him. So what do you think? Is Julian any different? The dark-skinned guy obediently replied. No, he is even stronger. Indeed. Losing memory was just a lie. This is personal, so please don't recount it to other bishops. Hearing this, his face suddenly blushed. Of course. I knew it. My ability only doesn't work on Julian. Arriving home, Julian showed annoyance, cursing, damn it, demanding. Open eyes, thanks to it I escaped. But I can't depend on such an unstable ability forever. I also anticipated it, but the Dawn Society is truly a tough opponent. He put his hand on his head thinking, now what should I do? Hayden will kill me if he knows I sided with the Dawn Society, and I won't be able to return to the original world. And if I expose the Dawn Society, someone among them will kill me. As predicted, perhaps I will have to join the Dawn Society. I will gather as much information as possible and prevent the resurrection of the demon god. That is the only way for me to return to the old world. Switching scenes to Genmen Monastery. He entered the monastery calmly. Church of the Sun, the organization with the most believers in the Joseon continent, a monastery directly under it. People around wondered why Julian, a known non-believer, came here. Maybe to eliminate someone. Julian heard and stayed silent. Sir Julian, what business brings you to our monastery? He replied, I came to meet the abbot. Abbot, I haven't received notification. Suddenly footsteps of a nun approached. She offered, I will guide you. Please follow me. Oh, right on time, sending someone to guide me. Thank you. He agreed to let her lead the way. Suddenly her whole body emitted a purple aura. You came sooner than I expected. In an instant, the nun revealed her true form as the blue-haired girl from last time. Actually, I thought you would refuse. Ms. Eleanor, long time no see. Removing camouflage magic right in front of me. Moreover, you are bold in such a large monastery, hiding the base of the Dawn Society here. The Archbishop is waiting for you. Julian, please show respect. I'll consider it, he thought. You are much more cautious than the last meeting, of course. Because the Dawn Society leader is right in front. Sect members inside looked at him and gossiped. Is that Julian? Julian, he really came. The man asked him, you are Julian, calling yourself the sect leader but having no dignity. So this is the humble peasant chosen by the Holy Relic. So you are Teen Ellen, leader of the Dawn Society. Eleanor reminded him, Julian, kneel before the Archbishop. And why must I do that? Didn't you agree to join? Prove your loyalty. I didn't come here to cling to some tiny belief. I came to establish a cooperative helping relationship. Julian suddenly became pious. Ridiculous, better to act confident like this. You only want my power, and I only need the power of the god you worship. The sect members heard and were somewhat annoyed. Julian, how dare you be so rude? That arrogant guy is just trying to save face. The masked man ordered enough. If it's for a cooperation, no need to treat people like this. Everyone, except Julian and Eleanor, leave. They could only obey. Yes, Archbishop. Truly as rumored. Your spirit is impressive, Julian. Suddenly he came to him acting overly familiar. Good, I like it even more. Follow me, I have something to show you. Julian felt confused inside. This area, except for the bishop, no one can enter. Is that so? Because the Holy Relic is here. Why show you such a place? I'm not sure. Maybe because I don't want to let you go like this. If I send you back, it means turning Ian into an enemy. But Julian becomes an ally of the Dawn Society. Aha, interesting. He asked the Archbishop, so just being an ally is enough. No need to be a vanguard. Correct. I will appoint you bishop. That way you will use the Dawn Society's power more effectively. Eleanor expressed dissatisfaction. Archbishop, promoting him to suddenly. The Archbishop explained this was a worthy reward for a hero on the northern front line. Eleanor, are you doubting my words? How is it? Julian, are you satisfied with this arrangement? He didn't hesitate and laughed. Yes, thank you. Archbishop. Good, good. Then let me show you one more thing since you came all this way. All three entered a room containing giant goblets. Julian wondered, that golden goblet, is that the Holy Relic? Yes, this is the chosen object. The Holy Relic, Demon Sound Cup. A magical tool that can crystallize the remaining will of Demon King Barbados into matter. He reached his hand forward. A black object was pulled into his hand. Haven't I seen this somewhere? Is it a demon horn? Correct. Through this Holy Relic, I can create demon horns, the source of their power. Impressive. This is the first time I've seen how a demon horn is made. But I know clearly what this Holy Relic truly is and the influence it brings. If I use that horn, undoubtedly. He woke him when he was distracted for a moment. Julian. Alright, truly interesting, demon horn. Julian asked him, so using this horn, I can control demon power exactly. Then I definitely came to the right place. That horn will certainly be the step leading me to my dream. If you say so, then take it. This demon horn is yours. You looked at the horn suspiciously. You give it to me so easily. To create a horn, countless demons must be sacrificed. It requires immense resources. But in return, you will have corresponding power. I wonder how strong it will be in your hands. Perhaps you will be strong enough to surpass the Sword Saint. I understand the power this horn brings, because even humanoid demons are created from it. Actually, it's not borrowing demon power, but turning yourself into a demon. I don't even dare imagine that happening to me. So how do I refuse? Eleanor suddenly spoke up, sir. In my opinion, giving him the horn now is too early. He heard with some wonder, too early? Yes, he hasn't decided to join yet, and the horn is the source of the organization's power. If you give it away easily like that, other members won't be pleased. Is that so? He thought. I heard it all. I will temporarily return it. Actually, my purpose for coming here today wasn't for this. Huh? He took back the horn from Julian. You are more considerate than I thought, but convincing Eleanor will be harder. So I want to ask you a favor. He asked. What favor? Please share. As you know, spirit stones, ingredients to create horns, can only be taken from the hearts of demons with at least 3 horns. It is also an object containing the remaining will of the demon god. Bring them to me. With you. This task surely isn't hard. Hunting a 3-horned demon without orders from the royal court, very suspicious. You don't need to worry. Julian, we will arrange that for you. Switching scenes to a few days later. Julian sat on the train pondering. What the hell just happened? The Archbishop approved my joining. Even appointed me bishop. And right after joining, I received orders to hunt a 3-horned demon. Thus, they even planted people in the royal court. This is no longer an ordinary underground organization, but almost a nation, so troublesome. Still lucky public transport connects the cities. You are right, Hazat. Alright. Almost forgot this guy's name, anyway. Julian asked him, aren't you also going to Verniden? He started and replied, yes. That is where the Ascension Festival of Sun God Shun takes place. I will attend as a representative of the One-Eyed family. Hazat tried to make conversation. When you complete the mission, you should also enjoy the festival atmosphere a bit. HMPH. I'll just nod for now. If I have time, I'll see. Julian looked at Hazat's face and understood he was still afraid of him. A while later both arrived at Verniden. They greeted each other briefly. Then I'm going. Okay. Hazat. By the way, I'll say this beforehand. Don't provoke Marquis Ozone. He used to be very close to the Hayden family, the family you wiped out. So, surely he won't like you. He looked at him, face pale. Is that so? Another trouble for me. But well, I only came to kill demons. Surely I won't run into him. Switching to the scene of Lord Ozone seriously speaking to Julian. Please postpone the mission. Currently, Bizenfars only allows members of the Church of the Sun to enter to prepare for the Ascension Festival. He explained, but the 3-horned demon is in that forest. If so, the festival will be ruined. But it hasn't shown itself, right? Julian asked, do you intend to defy the royal order? That's exactly why I'm asking you to postpone. The Ascension Festival is the pride of the city. We can't ruin the festival because of a demon that hasn't even appeared. If the festival collapses just because of a monster hunting mission, can you bear the responsibility? Julian heard and thought, he won't listen to me. But what if the demon appears right in the middle of the festival? There's still a week until the opening, and that time. Why don't you enjoy the atmosphere? No matter how cold you are, I think you know how to have fun. Suddenly behind there was the figure of a little girl peeking at the door, calling Ozone. She looked at Julian. Oh daddy, who is this person? So handsome. Must be Ozone's daughter. Immediately he jumped up warning the girl. Stay away from him quickly. Come here now. Do you really think I would harm a child? Fine, I understand. Ozone feared Julian would harm his child. His whole body showed negative color, fear. Julian knew clearly and actively left. Then we'll continue another day. Just out of the room he sighed. Phew. People outside saw him and asked, Lord Julian, what is the result? Julian could only complain. He is too stubborn. I can't make him agree to postpone the mission. Is that so? Need to summon Chloe members in the forest? Julian calmed them down then continued. No, leave them there. But the festival won't be able to proceed as planned. You mean, Verniden is where most players first face a 3-horned demon. A 3-horned demon isn't just a strong monster. I'm afraid this festival will become chaotic. The more horns, the greater the demon power, also possessing special abilities. Demons with 3 horns or more are named based on their power. One of them is Nightmare Hamlet. Hamlet is a type of deafling demon. It turns the land where it roots into a fortress. A maze where entrance and exit constantly swap. A poisonous swamp where just setting foot in poisons you, even if lucky enough to escape the fortress. Because of Hamlet's mental attacks, very few have ever overcome it. Julian held a teacup and leisurely thought. Hamlet surely will soon complete the defilement creating its maze. Lord Ozone will come to me quickly. Finished thinking, he took a sip of tea not long after. Suddenly a servant outside called loudly. Lord Julian. Lord Ozone requests you come to the mansion immediately. Excuse me, I didn't know you were dining. Julian calmly replied. It's fine. Switching to the scene of Lord Ozone clasping his hands trembling. You called me, Lord Ozone. Ozone spoke with a trembling tone. My daughter, Tizena, hasn't opened her eyes since last night. Even the doctor doesn't know why. Not just Tizena. Many children in the city fell into comas. Julian thought. It has started. A child never sick suddenly in a coma. Isn't that very strange? Rest assured. What do you mean? I ask. Don't you know anything about this? He affirmed this strange thing is definitely Demon's work. Julian heard and agreed. You are right. Most likely it's Nightmare Hamlet in the Padoon Forest. It sows seeds in living beings, turning them into its subordinates. Adults are less affected, but for children it's fatal. They fall into coma before turning into subordinates. Your daughter, perhaps it's too late. Who knows? Impossible. Then go kill it quickly, forget the Ascension Festival, save my daughter first. Seeing Lord Julian's face look strange. Oh, changed attitude so much in just a few hours. Listening. Do you really want to save your daughter? He nodded immediately. Yes, I am ready to do anything. Hello. Then he asked aiming at his dark secret. Anything. Dare you trade the safety of Verniden itself? Hearing this, Ozone went silent for a moment. Even his hands trembled. Huge. Yes, I can bear any loss. Seeing that reaction, Julian laughed loudly. Very good. If so, I will proceed to eliminate Nightmare Hamlet. Ozone ceased thanking him. Thank you. Truly thank you. switching scenes to servants carrying buckets of petrol pouring on tree roots. They informed him, all preparations are complete, Sir Julian, but do we really need to go this far? In such a beautiful place. Letting a threat exist is too stupid. But burn the entire Padoon forest. Right, arson. Not crossing Hamlet's fortress, but destroying it. This is the easiest and fastest strategy to defeat Hamlet in the game. Will Lord Ozone get angry about this? It's fine, he allowed it. We are just purifying a demon-infested land. We place the safety of Vernidon's people above the Ascension Festival. Saying that, Julian ordered. Then, let's start. Everyone followed, taking lit torches and throwing them in. Ignite. Ensure the whole forest burns down. From the fire appeared a demon-like face. Even from afar, its shape could be seen. The servants wondered, is that the roar of the three-horned demon preparing to fight? However, Julian stopped them. Step back. I will deal with that demon myself. What? But, you intend to eliminate the three-horned demon alone? Correct. You guys will only get in the way. Julian walked slowly into the burning fire. Each step he took seemed swallowed by the fire itself. Facing him was a notorious three-horned demon. He looked excited. Who? What a terrifying sight. Its eyes flashed red. Without talking much, it attacked Julian immediately but failed. He calmly uttered, useless. Julian activated Moonlight's sword to prepare for battle. The sword light cut a line into the demon. Julian moved skillfully. It was careless and startled. Julian thought it was a good chance. You can't use full power because of the fire. Then now, quietly disappear by my hand. The demon's shadow emitted a strange scent surrounding it. Julian noticed and discovered. Seeing bad signs, he covered his nose. This is Hamlet pollen. Demon skill Hammond. Pollen uses pollen as a medium. It causes hypnosis and convulsions, imposing hallucinations and controlling players. How the hell did I forget this move? He looked and just cursed, damn it. A second later, Julian showed a smirk again. You think that thing works? Turns out he resisted Hamlet's mental attack. Additionally, other skills were used like Julian's arrogant skill activated, Julian's shameless skill activated, Julian's expressionless face skill activated, HMPH. Just a lowly mental attack of a demon expects to affect me? The demon witnessed and could only roar loudly. He made a move raising the sword and said, a furious guy like you has nothing left to be furious about. Then quickly flew forward, sweeping a huge path. The demon was hit. To the point a vertical line appeared on its face from his slash. Julian looked at it and declared, it's over. Servants from outside also entered to support. Sir Julian, are you okay? Julian calmly turned back, answering briefly. I'm fine. Lord Ozone watched everything from above. Julian from behind said to him, thank you both for supporting the demon extermination. The royal court will surely praise Lord Ozone's brave decision. Has your daughter opened her eyes yet? She is gradually recovering. Hearing that news, he was also happy. That's great. Please give this to the girl. This is a necklace made from a Hamlet fragment. What? He explained. Your daughter was the first to react to Hamlet pollen. Perhaps because the mana flow in her body is far more abundant than children her age. She might have talent as a much, so I gift this magical tool. Ozone asked back. Why do you do this? Do you have feelings for me? HMPH. The more mages to clean up, the better, right? Bong, bong. Surely you have another purpose. What plot requires you to treat me kindly? Just politeness for your cooperation, nothing more. Politeness. Correct. Correct. You clearly know I was close to the Hayden family, whom you wiped out. You must want something, pretending to be kind to cover up. Then I take my leave, Lord Ozone. Once again, thank you for cooperating in demon extermination. Ozone examined the bracelet and told himself. He didn't ask anything else, just left. Then perhaps. Truly, he is a beast. He opened the door, entering his daughter's room. Tizena looks healthier than before. Here, a gift for your recovery. He placed the necklace on the girl's hand. Do you like it? Yes, Ozone thought. Seems safe. And look, the child loves it so much. Truly unexpected. I must send a letter to the Council of Nobles. We delay the exorcism schedule at the chairman's request to stop Ian and Izena. My daughter almost lost her life because of that. I will no longer cooperate. Hayden, please forgive me for choosing my family's peace over avenging you. Back to Julian's side. He was sitting on the train seat holding a small box. Nightmare Hamlet's heart. I successfully recovered its magic stone. Unconsciously, he slowly opened the small box. Not surprisingly, its evil aura was still unpleasant. The more he looked, the more its heart glowed. Now then, what should I do next? If I give this magic stone to the Dawn Society, I can gain some trust. But there must be a better option than just cooperating with them. The train will stop at Galandezen. Many people boarding. First, I need to return to the capital and hide the magic stone in a safe place if exposed. I'll be in big trouble. Jin from behind was moving to find a seat. There it is. Right after, Jin's eyes directed towards Julian, then started running. Julian couldn't help but be surprised. Right at this moment, Zinzan Dobel is on Hayden's side. I really can't let myself be discovered. If the magic stone is exposed now, big trouble. I haven't even decided how to handle it. Just carrying loot from a demon is enough to make people suspicious. Risky, but I'll temporarily hide it in the bag. Finished thinking, Julian acted normal again. We met quite coincidentally, like destiny. See 114. Must be you, Lady Jin. She said nothing, just clicked her tongue to pass. You are thinking why he is here, right? Correct. Exactly what I wanted to say. Yes. Julian explained. I had business in Verney Den. What about you, Lady Jin? Looking like you just came from a very warm place. You didn't even notice clothes sticking out of the bag. Ignore me. Excuse me if I offended you. Lucky, she was too focused on me to notice this thing. If a righteous knight saw an object related to the Demon King. A while later, Jin suddenly spoke up. Julian. He was on guard. Did she notice? She looked at him with suspicious eyes and spoke. The more I think, the stranger I find it. He questioned back. What do you mean? She looked at him with doubt. Isn't it too coincidental? You aren't following me, are you? He replied cheerfully. Unfortunately, I didn't book this ticket myself. It was arranged by the royal secretaries. If anything, aren't you following me? What did you say? HMPH. No need to overreact. Damn, thought I was exposed. Must hide it in a safe place quickly. If I knew it would be like this, I wouldn't have taken the gem box out. Jin wondered, but that gem box seems important to you, right? Hearing about the box, Julian suddenly showed a scared face. He smiled to cover the lie. Just a normal gem box. Words slightly awkward caused her to direct suspicious eyes at him. Then she spoke. Living too luxuriously, huh? I heard your sword is also studded with gems. Julian turned his face away. Lucky, she hasn't seen inside. Isn't more gems better? But then suddenly, the train stopped, causing his whole body to rush forward. Why an emergency stop right now? Announcement speaker rang a bell. Apologies to all passengers due to heavy rain. The train is forced to stop urgently. Done for. The gem box also left his hand, falling straight down to the floor. Seeing the fallen object, Jin picked it up. He immediately spoke up. Please return it to me. She surely knows it's a magic stone. So what will become of me? Helpless. Pity. For someone obsessed with gems like you. Yet you don't know how to cherish them at all. While speaking, she placed the gem back in the box and handed it to him. Here you go. Does Hayden Side still not know about the magic stone? Thank you. Stunned, just like I lost 10 years of lifespan. Indeed, at times like this, the emotionless face is truly useful. After both got off the train, the two conversed. Train is more comfortable than carriage, but sitting too long is tiring. The rain pouring just now stopped completely. My heart is still beating fast, so my mouth keeps babbling. This traveling companion is truly annoying. Makes me feel like I'm in hell. Really? I'm quite happy to have someone to chat with. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Afterwards, a servant approached from afar, bowing respectfully. Miss, you arrived. The carriage is ready to take you straight to the academy dormitory. Thank you. He also turned to leave at this time, thinking in his heart. Then I'll go first, Lady Jin. Must slip away quickly. Please wait a moment, Sir Julian. What is it? Speak quickly. Don't tell me she knows about the gem. Jin replied. I want to thank you for what you did in the slums. Not gratitude from Zinzan Doble, but gratitude from a knight. Hearing her words, he sighed in relief. Phew. Is that so? But we are students. Oh. You were expelled. Cold as always, huh? Watching his back leave, she turned to the servant. Let's go. He also followed. Yes, miss. Switching to the next day, at Chloe. O'Quinn spoke up asking, did you like Verney Den? He smiled answering, I wouldn't dare say I liked it. Of course not. Anyway, what is this pile of papers, Captain O'Quinn? Literally a mountain of papers. Anyway, that's too much to not call negligence. Yet you ask if I had fun. I sound like Julian himself. She's acting totally crazy. Captain O'Quinn shouted in his face. Hey, do you know why this pile of papers is stacked like a mountain? Due to your negligence, Captain. Absolutely not. It's all your fault, damn it. Why did you set fire to the Padoon forest? Julian reassured. Doesn't Chloe allow field decisions based on judgment? Calm down, calm down. Never mind. I must be stupid to ask you that. She explained most of these are warning letters from the Church of the Sun. Padoon Forest is important to the Church of the Sun, right? Fortunately, the royal court said they would handle it smoothly. But my work doubled thanks to you. Just consider it so. Fine. What? Unavoidable when I hear more annoyance than before. To sharp Captain. Sorry. There is also a proposal sent directly to you. Seems to be about a lecture at Bayer Academy. This is a new clause I haven't seen. Julian's reaction started when 3 words were mentioned. Genmen Monastery. He remembered his conversation with him. Even I wouldn't be foolish enough to hunt a 3-horned demon without royal orders. Don't worry about that, Julian. We will handle everything from our side. Don't tell me this is the handling he meant. O'Quinn continued. The Church of the Sun sees us as a thorn in the eye. And you offer them a proposal. The captain looked asking him. Know something, Julian. His face looked grim. Eleanor intends to send directly to the Chloe unit. While both were talking, Rarrett rushed into the office. Sir Ian. The secret office wants to know what happened in Verney Den. He turned to the captain, just in time. Rarrett. Sorry, Captain O'Quinn. I'll return later. Alright, go, Julian, and take this with you. See you again, Captain. That aged me 10 years. Rarrett chatted with him. Heard you suppressed a 3-horned monster alone. That rumor spread throughout the capital. Julian replied. It's no big deal. I thought I was dead for sure. Dawn Society sent a letter directly. Isn't that less important than the 3-horned monster? Julian ordered. Rarrett, wait in the front office. I will read this letter, then come later. Yes. Inside his head he wondered. What did they write? Julian picked up the letter, noticing every line. This letter from the Dawn Society can't just be social pleasantries. The Archbishop wants Bishop Julian to visit the cult. They cast silence on the letter. Seems Eleanor wrote it. I guess they want the soul stone obtained in Verney Den. Only a few people know exactly the day I returned to the capital. Only the commander and royal office. How did the Dawn Society know the right time to contact me? Having more people to watch isn't pleasant. Every time I go somewhere I don't belong, all eyes focus on me. Eleanor approached greeting. You arrived, Julian. Julian acted cheerful with Ada. Long time no see, Eleanor. Many eyes focused on me makes me a bit scared. You're good at joking. You show an aura no one dares approach. Discussing the other day. What you did in Vernie Den caused a stir throughout the capital. The story of unilaterally defeating the three-horned monster alone, and the disaster of burning Padoon Forest. Is that so? I want to hear the hero story from your own mouth. He modestly replied. You flatter me, Bishop Eleanor. Could you stop sending blatant letters? Because that puts me in a difficult position. Oh my. Where is it difficult? Thanks to that charm no one could read the letter. Right? Julian reacted. But there's always a possibility if it happens. I hope this won't happen again. I asked him. So how do you plan to keep in contact? Come another way. His face suddenly turned serious. Simple, I will come find Bishop Eleanor directly. Me. Correct. Face to face. I'm just afraid the relationship between me and the Dawn Society will be exposed. You seem to know where I usually am. He smiled. You think so? Hey. Eleanor thought HMPH. He's just teasing me. No way he knows my true identity. Julian just turned and left. The Archbishop seeing him was excited. Bishop Julian, you finally arrived. Do you know how much I long to see your face? Quickly show me what you brought. The soul stone of the three-horned monster you fought alone. Julian laughed softly, baring teeth sinisterly, then answered. I didn't bring the soul stone. This differed from his expectation. He asked. What? Isn't that the stone of the three-horned monster you defeated? Julian nodded. Correct. He asked further. No soul stone, no. So, where is the soul stone? Julian raised his hand and declared. I handed the soul stone to the Royal Secret Service. He heard this word with some frustration. Say that again. He still firmly answered. Yes, Archbishop. I handed the soul stone I obtained after defeating the three-horned monster to the Royal Secret Service. The bishop members beside told him, Are you crazy? The Archbishop used flame power to threaten him. He told him to explain the reason. If I must defend my action, I say I step back one step to advance three. A member of the group spoke up. Archbishop, no need to hear more. He is clearly a traitor. Julian turned to scold. HMPH, your thinking is too shallow. If I truly intended to betray you, I wouldn't have come back here. The reason I intentionally gave the soul stone to the royal family is to exploit their intelligence network. The stone I gave them is the first three-horned monster core publicly discovered. If the Empire knows its potential and usage, wouldn't they frantically search for more soul stones? With just one stone, I can find the location of many others. That is the reason. Hearing his explanation was somewhat convincing. He also agreed. Understood. That idea isn't bad. However, giving up the stone just for that reason, I can't say I completely understand. The members also pulled out weapons to prepare, helping friends. Julian thought, he won't let this slide easily. Of course, there's another reason. Since I took down the three-horned one alone, all kinds of rumors flew everywhere. Ace of the Chloe unit, the next sword, even, hero. Now everyone is looking at me. And among them, there are opponents, right? Among them is someone the Archbishop knows very well. Is the Archbishop curious who is plotting against me? The member shouted, he is just stalling. Archbishop, no need to listen. Drag him out, kill him. Julian, seeing the bad situation, prepared combat stance. Huh? You want to face me, really? Funny. Then come on. Of course. The Archbishop shouted loudly. Wait, who is that? Who dares interfere? The member rushed at Julian, slashing once. But unfortunately, having no skill, he was easily defeated. Julian thrust the sword deeper, causing him to cough up blood. Julian continued, if you are curious, I will tell. My old teacher, the sword, Hayden Zick. Does that name remind you of anything? Hearing this name, he flew into a thunderous rage. He thought, the link between the Dawn Society and the Sword Saint, using it to blind the Archbishop, indeed more effective than I thought. He recounted, the one who left the scar on my face is him. Julian sympathized. Correct, he always doubts me. Sad face, so that eye patch isn't just for show. Killing a three-horned beast but having no loot, then the first to be investigated will be me. He stood up, continuing, so that's it. Now I understand. That cold-blooded guy. Doubting even an old disciple is natural. Both shook hands in spiritual unity. Julian, now I understand why you joined the Dawn Society. Julian saw that and continued acting. Good, finally you understand my intention. Although you misunderstood completely. Switching scenes to Julian's office, he reflected, at least the immediate fire is extinguished. If I play the role between the Dawn Society and the Empire well, I will reach the end of this chess game. Of course, first there is one thing I must do. I need to deal with the suspicious shadow lurking around me. Initially I ignored it. But that person left shady traces no different from a spy. And that person is. Suddenly, Rarrett rushed into the room announcing instructions from the Secretariat. He ordered, can you put it there? Yes, sir. Today something is unusual. Rarrett gently placed the paper down, then prepared to walk away. Then I asked to leave first. He is more pleasant than rumors. Before getting dragged into trouble, I must go quickly. Wait, Rarrett, he asked. You look busy lately. He answered, work for Chloe is always like that. Even as a trainee, they give me quite a lot of work. I feel very grateful. Exactly, just a trainee, yet you seem to be handling quite important matters, right? He recounted. Didn't you come to deliver the Secretariat's message the exact day I brought back the Soul Stone? He replied, right? That's right. The Soul Stone is so important. I was also curious. Asked by Julian a question that froze him. Oh, a trainee also knows about the Soul Stone. He wondered. What? Julian explained. I used the word Soul Stone for the first time in front of you. Yet, you replied to naturally. Those who know about the Soul Stone are only me, the Empire, and, if not someone from the Dawn Society, you couldn't possibly know. From the start I found it strange. The Secretariat and Chloe assigned such a matter to a trainee? He placed a hand on Rarrett's shoulder firmly. That is impossible, unless the Dawn Society is applying pressure from within the Empire. TSK. You realized already. If it has come to this, don't be afraid. I don't intend to do anything reckless. I just want to talk. So that's it. Rarrett pulled a purple necklace from inside his shirt. Then I have no need to hide it anymore. That purple stone is continuously emitting dark energy. He lowered his head for a moment, planting his feet. Then he let out a long sigh. All right. Julian observed and assessed. It was a type of mind-affecting magic. He looked like a completely different person. He slicked back his hair and replied. Walking through the Imperial Palace. Mental magic is essential. Otherwise, no one could survive in that monster's den. The two continued talking. You're bold, but I prefer your true nature. You didn't kill me immediately, which means you have something to say. As expected, you're as sharp as ever. It's very simple. How about it? You want to work under me? Jared. Jared looked suspicious. You're sane. What? Is that right? Literally. Become a spy for me. You mean, a double agent? Exactly, Jared. He thought to himself. But why? Why make that offer? Acting so independently like this, do you realize? He shouted loudly. Don't tell me you intend to betray the Dawn Society? Julian replied. Those are heavy words. I just want to make my path a little smoother. Jared shouted at Julian. Do you think I'll obediently listen to you? Julian calmly held up a piece of paper. I'm not so shameless as to demand something without giving anything in return. You've been donating regularly to that orphanage. The amount is quite impressive, especially for an apprentice. It seems that place is very precious to you, isn't it, Jared? If something unfortunate were to happen there, having his weakness grasped by Julian, he could only grit his teeth. I'm just joking. Don't glare at me like that. As long as you lend me a hand, I will send a very generous gift to that orphanage. He stood up and repeated, a gift? That's right. I've recently started taking an interest in charity. Jared still suspected him, but at this point, he had no choice but to obey. Scene shifts to a few days later. Aiden asked him, Jared, did you bring what I requested? Yes, Bishop Aiden. This is the next destination of Sword Saint Heiderick, just as you requested. And an elder of the Noble Council has submitted a petition. It's likely a report of Hayden's movements to the Archbishop. He answered hesitantly. I understand. He asked him. Besides, your complexion doesn't look good at all now. It's nothing strange. You're not like your usual self. He thought to himself. Did something happen? Should I say it? Or hide it to the end? Even with the Dawn Society's protection, my sister, Kazina, is still. Remembering Julian's words to him. I will write a letter of recommendation for your sister and the other orphans to enroll in Bayer Academy. Orphans studying at Bayer. What better protection is there? A moment later, Aiden called him, startling him. Jared, there's nothing wrong. Back to Julian, he was walking towards his task. The maids bowed obediently. Lord Julian, you've arrived. Yes, your coat, sir, he replied. I was just lost in thought for a moment. Is this okay? The fact that I don't feel anything is the real problem. The moment I realized Jared was a spy, my instincts immediately pieced together the information he provided to find a weakness to exploit. If Jared had been a little calmer, he would have realized the paper I was holding had nothing to do with the orphanage. The old Lee Siwoo would never have been able to make such a judgment. The maid spoke up to announce. Lord Julian, there is a message from the family today. She said that Lady Xania Zafart is getting married and hopes you can attend. It's from the family head, Xania Zafart, my older sister. A formal invitation. How should I respond? Julian stated bluntly. Tell them I'm busy and cannot attend. Yes, I will relay the message. But a moment later, he changed his mind. No, wait. Tell them I will attend the wedding. The maid was slightly surprised to hear that but followed his order. Huh? Yes, I understand. Lord Julian thought to himself. I almost forgot what the Zafart family is still holding. Excuse me, miss. She added. Then I will prepare the outfit for this occasion. The pink formal suit that you always cherish. The thought of those colorful clothes made him flinch. He suggested. Actually, I need something more formal and refined. She asked in confusion. But didn't you once say that was your favorite formal outfit? With no other choice, Julian had to go to a shop to buy a suit. This place displayed many very stylish outfits. The female staff looked somewhat terrified as they welcomed him. Welcome to Beek's Boutique. He thought to himself. Julian comes to a place like this. At the Empire's most prestigious clothing store, Beek's Boutique. The clothes here were countless, and there were stylists to choose outfits in place of Julian's terrible taste. Should I ask someone to help me choose? He asked everyone. Is there anyone here who can select an outfit for me? Really? Seeing his serious expression, they could only utter. I apologize. Seriously. Seeing the difficult situation, Julian could only scratch his head. Truly, even buying a single suit is incredibly hard. Meanwhile, on Ellen's side, a red-haired girl expressed, "Welcome, Lady Ellen. Your research has gone on for too long. It's been ages since we last met." Ellen also replied politely, "Hello. Professors are just like that. Someone bought up all the moonstones, nearly ruining my thesis, but almost there. Recently, the Empire requested research on a substance called Hongsik, but it wasn't possible. If I had more, I could write an even better thesis. I don't know who found the Hongsik, but I'm truly grateful to them." The red-haired girl asked Ellen, "What outfit are you buying today?" "I'm attending a wedding. Normally I just dress simply, but," Ellen explained, "this is the wedding of the Zafart family's third daughter, Zania Zafart. I thought I should dress properly." Hearing that, the red-haired girl exclaimed, "Oh my, isn't that a very prestigious family? Then let me show you some formal dress samples, alright." Ellen breathed in gently. Taking a break from research is quite pleasant. This place really has everything. Suddenly, her eyes widened. It turned out Julian was also here. Seeing this situation, she just hid. Julian wondered, "I felt like someone was there, just my imagination." Ellen thought to herself, "I hid before I could even think." He also belongs to a branch of the Zafart family. It seems he's also choosing a formal suit for the wedding. So, does he also want to acknowledge that he belongs to that family? But why choose a normal outfit this time? Before, he always dressed like a stuffed sausage. Wait, is he planning to choose that one? His eyes confirmed it. This must be formal enough. Ellen grit her teeth watching. Anyone can see he's about to buy it. At this rate, he'll ruin the wedding. Out of options, she approached him. "Lord Julian, don't tell me you intend to buy this outfit." Julian was surprised. "Lady Ellen, have you been following me this whole time? I thought you didn't care about fashion since you bury yourself in research all day." "My mouth just spoke on its own," Ellen retorted. "That's sarcastic, and biting personality hasn't changed a bit. Perhaps because you always dress ridiculously without realizing it. Do you not know the meaning behind the suit? You're pretending not to know. Or do you truly harbor a deep grudge against the Zafart family? Do you intend to express a desire to destroy the nobility through this outfit?" Julian thought to himself, "What are you talking about? What's wrong with this one? Perhaps because you always carelessly wear these types of things. Do you not understand what this outfit signifies?" Lady Ellen suddenly appeared and started saying weird things. "I'm just trying to choose something to wear to the wedding. Is there a problem?" Ellen explained. "I'm talking about the symbol on the back." He asked, "The symbol?" Immediately after, she showed him the sign on the back. The Febat royal family. That is the crest knife family's display when they execute a sworn enemy. Nowadays it has lost its original meaning and is just a fashion trend. But for a notorious person like you to wear that symbol to a wedding. Hearing Ellen's words, he pondered. "I see. I've never played the role of Julian. So how would I know? Anyway, looking through all these clothes is exhausting, and thanks to Julian's instincts, my eyes keep being drawn to pink and neon colors. Perhaps I should ask for some help." He looked helpless and asked for her assistance. "Fine. I have no choice," Ellen agreed, glad that he finally understood. "Alright." Right after that, he showed her a flashy outfit. "I'll buy this one that I like." Ellen was visibly shocked. "That one," he thought to himself. Knowing Ellen's personality, if I keep choosing weird things, she won't be able to ignore it. She shouted, "Really intend to wear that to the wedding?" "That's right. And the pants must match the color perfectly." "Thanks." Her hands trembled. "I can't stand watching this anymore. In the name of the Donassian house, I will find the perfect outfit for you." Julian looked pleased. "Thank you. Truly a family of artists. Good, just as planned. Perfect. It's so easy to read her." Ellen looked annoyed. "Who knew your fashion sense was this bad? You only wear the academy uniform all day." "Yes." And so, Ellen ended up choosing Julian's outfit. The wedding day arrived. From Julian Zafart. "Your invitation has been confirmed." Julian was now wearing a very formal outfit, looking polite like a true gentleman. "I was safe wearing the suit Lady Ellen recommended. But, I feel a bit uncomfortable. Perhaps Julian's emotions are surfacing. The Hongsik that the Zafart family is holding. I remember a few ways to get the Hongsik, besides hunting demons in the dark. One of them is to talk to the Zafart family head to receive it. Julian's father. Just thinking about him makes me feel choked up." He opened the door and went inside. When they saw Julian enter, the musicians suddenly stopped. Even the guests were no exception. Julian looked awkward. "Is it necessary to stop the music?" "So, you really came?" In their eyes, "Well, it would be strange if they were happy to see me." Suddenly, from afar, a girl with long hair came running to hug him and shouted, "Julian." It turned out to be Zania Zafart, his older sister. "You came. I'm truly happy you came. Long time no see. It's so hard to see your face." He thought to himself. Someone so kind to Julian. "This is the first time I've seen one since taking over his body." She asked him, "How have you been lately? Even if you're in a branch family, siblings are still siblings." "Ah, Ellen, sorry. I was just happy." Ellen replied politely, "It's all right, Lady Zania." As expected, Lady Ellen, you also came. The sister continued, "You two know each other. We are senior and junior at the academy." The sister looked at her brother and exclaimed, "Anyway, Julian, you look so dashing dressed like this. Normally you look a bit like a clown. Did you pick this yourself?" You can say those words while smiling so brightly. Julian glanced at Ellen. "I can feel a gaze on me." Ellen signaled him. Say it. Who chose that outfit for you? Don't be shy. However, contrary to her expectations, he replied calmly. Yeah, I chose it myself. After all, this is my sister's wedding. Ellen froze looking at him. What? The sister excitedly added. Anyway, welcome both of you. Thank you for coming to celebrate my wedding. I should introduce you to my husband. The atmosphere is so pleasant, I didn't expect this. Footsteps approached the three of them from afar. Sister Xania. This is Joshua Zafart, also a member of the Zafart family. She stepped forward to welcome him. You must be busy with your studies. Thank you for coming. However, he only responded by tightly grabbing her wrist. They suddenly argued. What are you doing? What's wrong with you? Julian looked on in confusion. You're chatting with two lowly branch family members at such an important event. She pulled her hand away with a cold face. I was just happy to see him. It's been a long time since you've seen your brother Julian. Why not say hello? He pointed at Julian. Who would call that thing a brother? Exactly the atmosphere I imagined. Joshua shouted. Hey, kid. I don't know why you even came. But showing up like this doesn't make you a family member. Julian held out the letter explaining. I came because I was invited. Without a wasted movement, he snatched it, then quickly tore the paper in front of everyone. He even put on a threatening face, then, as a family member, let me say this, get lost. Julian asked him. If I refuse, then I'll let everyone know. Saying that, he drew his sword and pointed it at Julian, about the end of a branch member who dares to oppose the main house. To explain a bit more, Joshua Zafart is a notorious troublemaker at Bayer Academy. He formed a faction to isolate students of commoner origin. Grabbing his own sister's wrist like that, even a branch member wouldn't dare. But because he bears the Zafart name, no one dares to touch him. Truly a spoiled brat, he shouted. Come here, imperial dog. Julian thought to himself. Are you serious, fearless, or simply stupid? Julian immediately stepped forward to subdue Joshua. He witnessed it with surprise. He was so fast that he couldn't react. Julian successfully restrained Joshua's wrist. He wondered. Why are you so strong? Julian reprimanded. Grabbing your own sister's wrist like that, even a branch member wouldn't dare. Just like that, the sword in his hand fell unconsciously. He whispered in his ear. You should feel ashamed. Suddenly, a loud voice rang out. Stop it, Julian. It was Hazed. Julian asked back. Brother Hazed, in a situation like this, can I just stand by and watch while he insults my sister? He replied. I understand. But the other guests are watching, Julian. Joshua took the opportunity to shake off his hand. You should know your place. How rude. Immediately after, Hazed turned to shout at Joshua. Stop, Joshua. You were the one who provoked Xania and Julian first. Hearing that, he could only hesitate. He added. I am here today as father's representative, so don't act rashly anymore. Yes. Julian wondered. Father's representative, so the Zafart family head isn't coming? Then it will be hard to get the Hong sick. My purpose for coming here is pretty much gone. Well then, sister, are you okay? Sorry, I caused trouble. The sister looked grateful. It's okay, Julian. You only did that for me, right, Julian? Julian noticed. In a place full of such nasty people, she is truly the only normal person, to the point where her calmness is scary. A moment later, she signaled that it was fine, don't worry. Seeing everything was settled, he spoke up. Then I will take my leave. Good luck. The sister asked. What? Leaving so soon? Julian replied. I need to know when to leave. And also, Lady Ellen, thank you. I quite like the outfit you chose for me. It shows the refined eye of a true member of the Donassian house. Hearing his words, she suddenly blushed. Those words made her recall days in the past, as if it contained the entire starry sky. Truly a Donassian. Your magic is beautiful. The more Ellen thought about it, the redder her face got. Julian walked out of the room while Xania chased after him, calling his name. He turned around and saw his sister reaching him. Sister Xania, you're really leaving? I almost didn't make it to give you this. She asked him. Actually, you came to this wedding to meet father, didn't you? A moment later, she handed him a dark brown box. She added, to give you this. Your mother's keepsake. You've argued with father many times over this. He thought to himself. So there was a family issue like that. Yes, that's right. A keepsake. That means Julian's mother has passed away. I secretly brought it to return to you. He wondered in his heart. How does Julian have such a warm-hearted sister? If father knew, he would surely be furious, but this is too precious for me to refuse, so. Julian accepted the box and quietly thanked her. When he opened the box, a necklace with an extremely beautiful blue stone, a hongsik. It seems to have been processed with magic. I don't sense any demonic energy from it. Your mother's keepsake is this. Julian, what kind of person are you? Is there some secret I don't know? This is crazy. I don't know anything. He unconsciously spoke out. I didn't expect to get it this easily. She asked back. What? Nothing, sister. I was just muttering. Thank you for returning my mother's keepsake, she replied. I knew it was right to give it to you. That's the first time I've seen that expression on your face. The two siblings joked like that. You saw wrong. Is that so? Xania waved to Julian. Then get home safely. Visit us sometime. Julian also replied politely. Yes, see you later, sister. He quietly left with a silent expression. The hongsik that the Zafart family has kept all this time turns out to be Julian's mother's keepsake. He wondered, what is this stinging feeling in my chest? Then suddenly, tears began to fall from his face. Nostalgia, Julian. Do you really have these emotions?